afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NFL Recap. Will Compton. Right now, you might see my seats empty. Oh no, where's Will? Don't worry, Will's going to be here. He's grabbing some hats for the boys right now. Quick thing, right before we get started, hats are gone now. Will is grabbing hats. The hats don't exist. The hats are gone. Do us a favor before we start the show. If you watch the show, it's your first time, second time, third time, hell, if it's your 25th time watching this show, do me a favor and please subscribe to this show, Bussin With The Boys, and leave comments. This is for you.
Oh, okay. Thought you were going to lean on me. I say, yeah, absolutely subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely
we're
subscribe.
getting close to that 700,000 mark.
Getting close to 700,000 mark. It's going to be a big celebration when that happens. Also, Thursday is Thanksgiving. What happens the next day, Mitch?
Black Friday.
That's right. So there'll be a lot of juicy deals for you guys to get on our website, bwtb.com. With that being said, Will, who is our presenting sponsor?
Bussin With The Boys is proudly presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. And this Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. And here's how it works.
Pass the leg.
Start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your boys so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds. So you're building a parlay with the boys.
Yep.
Because football is better when it's played and bet together. And to make it even better, everyone gets a 50%. Let me say that again.
Say it again.
50% profit boost to use on their build. So whether you're backing your team, tailing your buddies, or trying to prove who really knows ball, Pass the Leg is your new way to play this Thanksgiving. Grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action with Pass the Leg only on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/bussin to get started.
Can I start this show negatively and then we'll bring it back to positive somehow throughout the show? Can I just start?
It's a week of gratitude.
It's a week of that's why. Let me get it out of the way. Let me get it out of the way right now. Do you mind?
You can start.
Do you mind? Just we'll do this, and then after that, we'll just be grateful from here on out. Cool?
Yeah.
Nothing pisses me off more, dude, than when you order a coffee on Uber Eats or Postmates and you spend way too much money for a coffee. They bring you the coffee, you get an iced coffee, and it's filled to the brim with ice. And there's like 6 ounces of coffee in there. Is that not insane?
Yeah.
For coffee.
Week of gratitude. I think
it's okay to be negative in this small pocket. After this, I will be grateful.
We're in a world where we get to be so lazy that we can just go to where we want to go and think, I want an iced coffee. I don't want to get hot coffee that we have here at the shop. Like,
right.
I want to get me an iced coffee. Right. Let me just pull out my smartphone and dial in. Somebody's going to go pick up the coffee for you, bring it to you. You can throw them $1, a couple bucks tip, whatever it is. But you can get iced coffee in your hands like that.
Right.
And we're talking about ice to the brim. It's not done perfectly. Again, a week of gratitude.
Right. And I'm going to say it again. We're using this small fucking pocket to say things we're pissed about so we can have even more gratitude. What makes great things so great? It's the lulls in life that make you appreciate when you have success and you get over these milestones in life.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm bringing us down a little bit so I can bring us up later and we can be like, wow, how extra grateful are we because we had that pocket of negativity.
That peak of the week.
I'm going to give you another one, though, because you said something, you order on the app, and all of a sudden we're giving out a little tip. That's great. If I order one singular coffee, that coffee is $5.38 from the coffee place I like to go to. Then there's a Uber Eats charge. I get it. You're running a business. And then it says tip. $3, $4, $5.
We got to get that out of
that shit's got to go, because I'll go custom every single time and put $1 fucking dollar, because that is 20%. Maybe a little less because of 38 cents, but I don't do cents around here.
Yeah.
Okay?
We don't do
but
math
if you are a barista, all right, if you have the prestigious name of a barista and you see an Uber Eats order and it's an iced coffee, put half ice in there. Half ice.
Did you check extra ice on your coffee?
Come on, Sherm. You know I didn't.
Oh, that's weird, because they gave you enough ice to fill a fucking baby pool with.
That's right, because we're being a little negative right now.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that, dude?
There you go.
Okay. Does anybody have anything negative to say before we go to full gratitude from here to even through the Bussin' episode? Anybody? Yep, Mitch.
Sometimes when you order, I just ordered nightstands this weekend. The amount of pieces that are in that, it took me and Brooke 2.5 hours to build 2 nightstands. It was a fun little bonding moment, but it's like, can we just lower the parts? Sorry.
Lower the parts. Lower the parts, make it easier. Also, stop giving me that little ass screwdriver, dude. All right? Stop doing that. Like if you're gonna send something, say, hey, you need tools for this, or just make it to where I can screw the shit in myself. Right?
Well said.
Love it. Anybody else want to bitch?
I kind of want a bitch.
Which bitch, dude? Because we have to hit bottom floor right now in order to feel gratitude for Thanksgiving. Bitch, dude.
F my kids.
Okay.
Nebraska got their ass pummeled this weekend. We'll cover that college football. But Rue, sweetheart, she gets sick in the middle of the night on Friday
That's
night.
bullshit.
We do a little sleepover, or Saturday, whenever it was. Do a little sleepover. She wakes up at 4 a.m. and just starts projectile vomiting all over the bed. Got some on Charo. I get woken up. My wife looks at me crazy because I just want to lay a towel down. I'm like, let's just get a towel down. We'll just keep it moving.
Can I tell you something too? I've done that.
Like Big Daddy, get the newspapers out, we'll cover it. She's like, are you serious? I was like, let's just we got to get back to sleep. It's like 3:30 or 4 a.m. She's like, yes, on
Dad's
my
in sleep is so important.
She's like, it's on my side. You don't have to lay in it. Look, you want to change the sheets? Let's change the sheets.
Both of you kind of get mad at each other and then just go to sleep kind of and then wake up in the morning and be like,
Just
"That was
doing all
crazy,
the doing all the breaths like
yeah. Dude, breaths speak volumes in marriages with kids.
I like look at her. I'm like, come on, we're get off the bed. Mom wants to change your sheets.
And she just threw up. She's like still wiping her face. Go ahead, get off. That's good, dude. Fuck your kids. You're saying that. I'm saying those are the words.
I said F. I said F. I could have meant anything with that F word.
F your
You
kids.
win.
You're
win.
right. You're right. That was fucked up by me. And because I'm being a nasty bitch right now. Let me
You've been down and out. You've been down and out for quite a minute.
Right. It's tough for me to be grateful when I'm learning how to walk again. I've spent 72 hours literally horizontal.
That's why in my head I'm thinking, if you're just holding the iced coffee in your hand, you're like, man, all this shit that I went through, it's so nice to have this iced coffee.
Right. But we've got it. I don't want to explain myself again. You know what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Jack, bitch about something, dude.
I'm not even gonna bitch about something.
Oh my God.
But I'm gonna be nasty.
Be nasty.
Klump is such a fraud. First time that,
Hell yeah.
that the Vols win in Gainesville in 20 plus years. It just happens to be weeks after Klump decides to be a Florida fan. Come in here and he's like, dude, we're good. We got Kiffin coming. And Klump hasn't said one thing. Hadn't been like, hey man, I was wrong. Hadn't said this. He took Florida money line. Florida got their shit kicked in.
Pushed in.
Kicked in.
Kicked in, pushed in.
Kicked and pushed. And I don't know. The first thing I said to Klump when I came in was just pretty nasty. And it's just nice to know that he is truly the reason that Florida will probably be in the shitter for the next 5 years.
Ever since Klump has become a Florida fan, they have done things they haven't done since 2003, and that's lose to Tennessee at home.
Yeah. Anything you want to say, Klump?
Yeah, Klump, bitch about something, dude. Don't say anything nice. Oh, we're getting kicked. Just say something nasty.
I don't have anything really to bitch about, but I do believe in karma and like bad vibes, and celebrating the Florida win is great, but Tennessee's about to get their shit packed in by Vandy on Saturday. And Diego Pavia is going to win the Heisman Trophy after scoring 5 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
We got a college football show coming later.
Neyland.
College football show
In
coming
Neyland.
later.
Oh!
College football
We'll
show
talk
coming
about that.
later.
We'll talk about it later. Should we get everyone feel good? Sure.
Fuck porch pirates, dude. Just fuck them.
Fuck them. They come over, they steal your packages, they run away.
What?
That's so crazy that people still do that shit.
Porch pirate. Yeah, porch pirate.
Hey, a lot of conversations on a podcast right now.
A lot of combos. Hey, just fuck porch pirates. That's all I have to say. And happy Thanksgiving, dude.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Great.
Thanksgiving.
Have you seen the videos of people who like have the little cameras on their doors and then people steal the packages, but those packages are like, they have like
glitter bombs?
yeah, glitter bombs inside of them. They're like they get picked up.
And
So these
now,
people go and they rush to their car and they get in their car and you just see like pink and blue explode in their car.
and now the porch pirates are charging those people with
Yeah.
assault.
It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's like, oh, you know what we're doing, buddy.
Oh, I stole their package and their package glitter bombed me. That's assault.
That's assault, brother. So yeah, you should do that. Or move.
I really want to.
Or move.
Yeah.
Because that's a crazy thing that people are doing still.
It's crazy.
Shouldn't have that. NFL. Crazy weekend in the NFL. By the way, boys, I am so grateful for you guys taking the time to be very negative with me. I needed that. Onward and upward. We're going to be grateful from here on out. Let's be grateful for the Houston Texans and that defensive pass. Let's give a round of applause for that pass rush. Was it 7, 8 sacks in that game? The boys were absolutely hunting all day long. Their offense was okay, a little stagnant. They did enough to win the game, we'll say that. They did enough to win the game. They had Josh Allen running for his life all day, and the back end, that defense was sticky on the wide receivers. We all know, like, people have been very critical of the Buffalo Bills wide receivers, and I think they deserve a little bit of criticism, but we have to say a lot of good things about how that defense played. They played absolutely incredible in that game and made Josh Allen run for his life. Daniel Hunter, who's the other individual? Will Anderson. My God. Couple of robots rushing around the edge. It was unbelievable to watch.
And even when they missed the sack, the way they're able to get up off the turf and continue to hunt this man, that's what's impressive. The defense for the Houston Texans is for real. And when you look at their schedule too, like they got kind of a gauntlet in the next couple weeks with the Colts. They play at Indianapolis and then go to Arrowhead and play the Chiefs. After that, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, and Colts again. Is there a world where you feel like the Texans are going to make the playoffs?
I think
there's clearly a world, but in your mind, do you think the Texans make a run and get into the playoffs?
What's their record right now?
They are 6 and 5.
6 and 5.
Yeah, 6 and 5.
And the Jags are 7 and 4.
Correct.
And the Colts are 9 and 3. 9 and 2.
Colts are 8 and 3.
8 and 3. Yeah, there's absolutely a world we can see that. I think the issue is what happens in that second slot. Hell, what happens in that first slot? Maybe the Texans pass rush is that good where they get Daniel Jones off of his, out of sequence. He's not throwing in rhythm. He's not throwing with timing. Maybe they can go and upset the Colts if they just got upset against the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe something happens there where that defense is just good enough. I mean, they're only 2 games back versus the Colts.
Question for y'all. Do you think Davis Mills 3-0 in his 3 starts with the Texans? You don't think there's going to be any quarterback controversy there?
No.
CJ Stroud hasn't
before
played
CJ Stroud got hurt, the early part of the year, he was having trouble. He wasn't throwing the ball accurately. He wasn't throwing it on time. The couple of games before he got injured, he started to find his stride a little bit. He started to push the ball down the field. His wide receivers were making big catches. That to me is a non-conversation starter right here. Because it's not because this is Davis Mills. Yep. Davis Mills isn't the reason why all of a sudden he's willing his team into victory. Like, he is taking care of the football, allowing the run game to work for him a little bit, being efficient with the football when he needs to be, and then allowing the defense to absolutely wreak havoc. And that's what's causing the Texans to win the game. That it's the defense. It's not necessarily the offense. And if you're looking on the other side of that, we're not going to get critical, right? We're not getting critical, but the Buffalo Bills, they're in a bit of danger right now.
Just before we get out of the AFC South, all that has to happen this weekend, you got essentially a 1-game race. Texans beat the Colts this weekend, and then Jaguars got the Titans. So Jaguars win that. If the Jaguars win that game, I'm not saying they're going to, but if the Jaguars win that game, likely that they will, they'll be 8 and 4. Colts, if they lose to the Texans, Colts will be 8 and 4, and Texans will be 7 and 5. And we'll have a 1 game away where what felt like earlier in the season, as it was trending, Colts were going to run away their potential 1 seed and everything else. And the AFC South was kind of beaten down, but Texans, Jaguars have been inconsistent. They've been steady, but we'll see kind of what happens in this last stretch in November, December football. But we could be 1 game away after this weekend.
Could be one game away.
For some good, fun chaos.
And if there's one thing we've learned in the 2025 football season, it's Will Compton and chaos are a match made in heaven. You two love each other so much. I love chaos. I love sitting there. I love sitting back and just watching the chaos unfold. And then you kind of telling me a story as if I'm a child tucked in and you're reading me a nice little book at night, the Book of Chaos. Yeah. I enjoy that. You're an individual that you're on ChatGPT. You're wondering how we get the most chaos out of life when it comes to the gridiron.
Yes.
Mostly. We'll get to college football later.
Yeah, we'll get to college football.
We'll get to college football
Even
later.
in some NFL, there's chaos. There's all this chaos created with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll get to that once we start talking about the NFC. But yeah, going out to Buffalo. I don't know what to think of Buffalo.
Right.
I just don't know what to make of Buffalo. Like, their defense is inconsistent. You can run the ball on them. Josh Allen's going to have to be a superhero every game. Receivers, are they going to, what's his name? Keon Coleman?
Yeah, he's benched.
Is he going to get back in the
2
lineup?
weeks in a row?
I think he was last week. He sat out for the first half or first quarter, and I think according to Deion Dawkins after a post game interview, it seems like it's kind of a character issue, kind of an attitude type thing, and he needs to dial it in. But he was a first round draft pick for him. You would like to think that he's out there and like can.
But
be that
did
wide
he play
receiver.
Thursday?
No, he did not play
Yeah,
Thursday.
he didn't play Thursday.
He was an underwear
That
on
interview
Thursday.
you're talking about was 2 weeks ago when he
Yeah.
got benched for a quarter and said it was character. We got to get him back on track. But Thursday he wasn't even dressed.
He was a healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row for missing a team meeting is basically what they said. And then his attitude for how they reprimanded him, I guess, is why he was a healthy scratch again.
That sucks,
Allegedly.
man.
Yeah, but I
They
think
need
Deion
him.
Dawkins, I think he handled it really well. Obviously, there was internal conversations that took place, but his post-game interview or whatever, when he's like, listen, I love the kid. He's awesome. He needs to now show these levels of growth to get in. So it's like you've had the conversation. You publicly said what it's about. That to me is great leadership by Deion Dawkins. I like to handle it that way.
Great time of year, too, for Keon Coleman to be thankful. Just kind of rewrite the script.
Rewrite the script, dude.
Yeah, it's
Get your
Thanksgiving,
turkey
dude.
leg. I understand. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
Thanksgiving.
you are a young cat, single young cat in the NFL.
First round draft pick.
First round draft pick, able to play with the reigning MVP
Yeah.
and to catch balls from Josh Allen.
Great quarterback.
And a team that widely is considered a contender in the NFL. You're one of 32 teams
Yeah.
that have the possibility to win a world championship. How beautiful is that?
Man, that's something to be thankful for.
That's something to be thankful for. That's outstanding, Sherman. I love that. But I think the answer is this wide receiver room is, from a talent standpoint, we could all kind of say like they're below average or they're not getting separation the way they need to get separation. The defense, you said it, like people can run on them.
And they're getting injured.
And they're getting injured. So
They
if
lost
you-
the right tackle.
They lost, Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown was having some issues during the game. He ended up coming out and not finishing from a right shoulder injury. He ended up coming out, not returning back in the game. And if we're going to stick on the offensive line, here's my biggest issue I have with watching that game. We're going to stay thankful. What these offensive linemen have to know. I know I brought up Deion Dawkins. I think Deion Dawkins is one of the best tackles in the NFL. Like his run blocking ability is, I think in the top 10 category. His pass blocking ability is in the top 10 category. You're able as an offense to do so much with a tackle like him. And I think Spencer Brown is one of the more underrated tackles in the entire league. But these guys have a timer is going off in their head when they're in pass protection. And you see it multiple times. There were 2 or 3 sacks that took place in that game. That was because they decided the ball should be out and they stopped blocking. And the defensive end, whether it be Anderson or Hunter, kept going and got the sack. And so that's a big issue that is just fixed with effort. But you save yourself, your quarterback getting hit 2 or 3 other times if you don't have that timer in your head. And a guy like Josh Allen, he likes to hold the ball a long time. Like being if you're a Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown, you've been in the league long enough to know, hey, your wide receiver room, they're going to take a little bit longer. They need more time to kind of have these routes open unless you're scheming them open in certain ways. That is a big problem that they need to get fixed, but it's easily fixable going into next week.
Yeah, Spencer Brown too, looking at going on IR potentially as
And
a potential
Terrell
candidate.
Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard, their inside backer. Yeah, he went down too with an elbow.
Yeah.
So they're also taking on injuries. I think it's the Patriots. Patriots are going to take the East. I know it's only 2 games. What are they? Is it 2 games back?
I
How
think
many
they're
games?
2.5 because they have the tiebreaker as well.
I think the Bills are 7. Yeah, Bills are.
It's
7
at 3
and 4.
games right now.
Bills are 7-4. Yeah.
I think the Pats and Bills still play each other twice this year, though.
No, the Pats and
No,
Bills
Pats
already played
beat
each other at the Bills. The Pats won that game. That started the Pats streak, or us kind of like opening our eyes to the Patriots. The Bills, they don't play again till I think the first week of January or late December is when they play again.
But the Patriots, the rest of the way, you got Giants. You
December
got
14th is when they play.
Bills, Ravens, Jets, and Dolphins.
I think if you're the Bills, this is a DEFCON 5 panic mode situation that you're in. You're 3 games back.
You're in the playoffs right now.
You're in the playoffs right now, but I think with the conversation we just took place with the AFC South, AFC West, also we have not gotten to. That's like you can have multiple teams there making the playoffs. It's scary to be a Buffalo Bills fan and a Buffalo Bills player right now.
Patriots and Broncos racing for the 1 seed in the AFC.
Racing for the 1 seed. What a fun world we get to live in.
I'm saying, like, for the Bills, like, yeah, you may be like in the playoff picture right now, but like your playoffs start now. Like, you need to start winning out.
Yeah. It's one of those situations for sure.
Imagine before the season started. You're not talking. It's like, hey, who's going to race for the 1 seed in the AFC? It's going to be like between Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen,
Lamar Jackson,
Joe
Joe
now
Burrow.
we're talking about Bo Nix and Drake May. Bo Nix and Drake May racing for the 1 seed in the AFC. I love it.
I know you do. My boy loves chaos.
We love chaos. We
Yeah.
love
And
chaos.
the Patriots too, or the Colts.
Yeah, Daniel Jones as well. I mean, they just lost to the Chiefs and they should not have lost that game. That was a heartbreaking. That's the second biggest heartbreaking game besides Columbus Eagles this past weekend. But yeah, dude, I think it's safe to say the AFC East is owned by the Patriots right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, the Patriots scheduled the rest of the way too. I mean, you were fourth or third in your division last year. You're kind of in a place where you're playing the easier teams. We saw the gauntlet the Bills have to deal with. It's a tough spot. Tough spot to be living in right now. Looks like we got
Greg joining.
Greg is joining us right now.
All right, we're going to take a quick break from this episode to shout out a few of our sponsors, and we're kicking it off with True Classic. Holiday season's coming up. Black Friday's coming up. This is how I got on a True Classic a couple years ago. They got these new Curve Pima shirts, and they fit phenomenally, super comfortable, fit the arms and shoulders and chest nice, a little loose down there in the tummy area, so you can hide that as well. You can find True Classic at Amazon and Costco, Sam's Club, and Target nationwide, or online at trueclassic.com/bussin. Look good, feel good, play good. This show is also sponsored by Liquid IV. Push harder, recover faster with Liquid IV's new energy multiplier, sugar-free hydrating energy. It is hydrating energy made with electrolytes, vitamins, and natural caffeine. Zero sugar, zero crash. Just one stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Powered by the LIV Hydra Science, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Provides balanced energy without the jitters, 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. It has 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Don't let the grind drain you. Ditch the glitch with zero sugar and zero crash from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code BUSSIN at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code BUSSIN at liquidiv.com. We are also brought to you by Blue Diamond, the official nut sponsor of Bussin' With The Boys and Big Ten football. Blue Diamond almonds are the super nut that hits you with that little protein punch to keep you going. Available in 20 plus flavors like honey roasted, wasabi and soy sauce, and smokehouse. In this football season, you could win $10,000 in grand prize money or hundreds of other instant win prizes with Blue Diamond. All you got to do is visit bdsweeps.com for a chance to win. No purchase necessary. This ends on November 30th, 2025. Open all 50 U.S. states and D.C., 18 plus years or older. For rules, visit bdsweeps.com, void where prohibited. Blue Diamond Almonds, the official snack of Big Ten football and football fans everywhere. Do not sleep on the blueberry almonds or the dark chocolate dusted Blue Diamond almonds as well. Let's get back to this episode of Bussin' With The Boys.
What's going on?
Nothing. We were just talking ball. We were talking the AFC. Kind of, laughing, loving the chaos out before the season. It's like you're talking Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, a couple of those 4 racing for the 1 seed in the AFC. And now we're talking about Bo Nix and Drake May.
It's funny how the league shifts, man. That's what makes the NFL so good. You think and the reality is none of us have any idea.
You know that the Patriots are going to win the AFC East, though, yeah?
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now, barring, what are they, 10-2?
Yeah, 10-2.
Yeah.
Close one. They had to come back a little bit against the Bengals defense.
That's all right.
Yeah.
What was it? I think
I know everybody wants to give them a hard time
about
they don't play anybody and their schedule has been the easiest and they haven't beat anybody with a winning record. Like, I get all that, but this is not college football, right? Where everyone's schedule is so drastically different. Some years you get lucky and you play the 4-seed schedule because of the year before and your schedule's easy and your crossover division at a conference is an easy one. And then the next year you play the hardest schedule. Like it all evens itself out. You got to take advantage of an easy schedule when you get it, and you never apologize for winning.
You know what's crazy right now is, I mean, I don't want to look ahead at 26 because we have so much fun football ahead of us in the NFL season. But if we get through the year the way the year is going right now, at some point in February, March, April, May, the mainstream media is going to stop talking about Drake May as much and Bo Nix, and they're going to go back to the things they're most comfortable with: Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow. And then we're going to look at the 26th season in the AFC, and we're going to have those 4 regular names, but you're going to add Drake May in there. You're going to add Bo Nix, and then now we're looking at the AFC like every team in the AFC could win the AFC.
Yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah. What do you make of, so you covered the Vikings Packers yesterday, yeah?
Yep.
A lot of conversations around JJ McCarthy.
A lot of conversations.
What are you seeing as you watch that game unfold?
Yeah, it's a tough offense to watch. And I think there's a lot of reasons, right? So on one side of the coin, we got a guy who's just made his 6th NFL start, right? So I think it's a little premature to just cast him off and say he's done. He's not an NFL starter. He's Zach Wilson. He's Trey Lance. He's a high first-round pick that just can't do it. I think it's too early for that. But I do think there are some alarm bells going off like, okay, are we wasting a window where we clearly thought that we were going to be in contention to not just win the division, but to make a deep run in the playoffs after a disappointing end to a 14-win regular season last year. So I think that's a very reasonable conversation. I think they are running this offense entirely different than they have in years past. This looks entirely different with, albeit pretty much the exact same guys on offense and the same play caller, a very different system and scheme and play style to last year. And, I understand the offensive line has been very banged up. They started yesterday for the first time all season. Yesterday was the first game that they had their preseason on paper starting 5 all in there together. And then Christian Darrisaw, he leaves. Donovan Jackson, the left guard, he leaves. So they don't even finish the game with that. So offensive line has been an issue. But skill-wise, they've got a lot of great guys. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. They got Kevin O'Connell, the same play caller.
Right.
It just looks different. So I think at some point they need to just rip the Band-Aid off and say, we'll fix all the fundamentals in the offseason. We'll fix the overstriding. We'll fix throwing to his left. We'll fix the base of his mechanics, flying open. Forget all that. I think if I'm Kevin O'Connell, I'm saying, JJ, just get back and rip it. I don't care if you throw 5 picks, you're not coming out of the game. I think they need to flip it because right now they're protecting him. It's super run heavy. They're getting nothing out of it. They're not going to score any points, and they're all just doing it to try to protect him and not crush him. I think I would go the complete opposite going forward and just say he can either do it or he can't. We're not going to handcuff the rest of the offense and the rest of the team because this is clearly not a style of play that is conducive to scoring points and ultimately winning.
Are you
Hold on,
Go
Greg.
ahead.
I 100% agree with everything you just said. Because if you're Kevin O'Connell, you're sitting there, and the entire Vikings fan base is now completely impatient because this is his 6th start, but it's his 2nd year with that team, and they've had this anticipation of JJ McCarthy for 2 years now, and regardless of whether it's fair to him, it's not fair to him, that's the way the NFL is. It's impatient, and we have a development issue. If you're Kevin O'Connell, if you're in a slump, we got to swing through the slump. Like he threw the ball 19 times yesterday. We need to double those numbers. And who cares? You're right. If it's 5 picks, 6 picks, like we're just going to keep on ripping it. And by December, like maybe he works through those things. Kid does a lot of meditation, does a lot of things, focus on himself. He sits there in post-game press conferences or during the week, and they're like, hey, are you used to playing quarterback like this? He's very open. Like when I was at Michigan, this is not how they taught me to play quarterback. So he's learning new
He's talking
ways.
about taking the dog outside and he's getting 10 reps in.
Yeah, getting 10 reps in. It's
with
like,
his
hey,
fundamentals.
let's make those real live reps and let's see if you're the guy right now. Because the way their season's going is if he is the guy, or if you're Kevin O'Connell, like, hey, because to me, I see a couple things where it's like we have a lot of red flags taking place, a lot of alarms going off, but there are 1 or 2 things you see when he does throw the ball on time with the right mechanics. He's throwing guys out of breaks, perfect with in the back of the end zone. He's throwing high, front of the end zone. He's throwing it low by the hip, like he's throwing the football in ways you're like, oh, okay, that's the guy they wanted to draft right there. But it's like you have between now and the end of the year to truly figure it out, because you're not going to have a fan base that's going to be patient with the head coach if you don't go and draft a quarterback in the first round if it stays like this. So you've got to be like, hey, let's have him throw the ball 36, 37 times a game and just call this season a wash and rip it. So I agree with you. I love that take.
Because remember, he's not dumb, right? He's been around a lot of good ball. He's won a lot of games. He's always been the man. I mean, just even back, going 37-1, 36-1, whatever it was in college at Michigan, winning the Natty. This is a guy who's been around ball, and he understands good ball and he understands bad ball. And I think right now the team thinks they're protecting him. And I don't fault Kevin O'Connell for any of this. He's really trying to find that delicate balance between throwing your that was inadvertent, throwing your young quarterback to the wolves and crushing him, which we've seen stunt the growth of young quarterbacks for years. But I also think you can stunt a young quarterback's confidence by putting in a game plan and calling the plays, which signals to everybody who's watching the game or part playing in the game, we don't believe in this guy. Like, he can't do it. So we're going to just call this game entirely different from how we otherwise would. I think that's equally debilitating. So I think you overcorrect, let it rip. You're not benching him. There's no one else to go to. And you're saying, dude, we protected you and we lost 23-6. Who cares if we lose 40-6, 40-14? Like, we're not going to worry about playing not to lose. That formula is obviously not getting us anywhere. We're going to go out there, let it rip, get back to what you've been, all the confidence in the world, let it eat. And if you throw it to the other team, we'll fix it on Monday. But we can't do this whole run, third down pass, fall behind, and then get into pass mode at the end and just think we're going to chuck it down by 3 scores. Like, you just can't play NFL football that way. And they don't have a lot of choices who they turn to. I'm not suggesting they turn to somebody else, but I think you just let the young kid go out there and let it fly, and you're losing anyway. So what's the difference of the manner in which you lose?
Right.
Right. I just, if you go that route, and then he, because he's like the most inaccurate passer in the NFL right now. Like, I know we hate throwing stats, but quarterbacks with at least 100 attempts, you look at accuracy percentage. So ball location, accuracy within the frame, away from the coverage. His accuracy is only 51%. There's only 3 quarterbacks in the league below 55, and it's Carson Wentz, it's JJ McCarthy, and it's Michael Penix. And JJ McCarthy's at the bottom. So you might say you double those numbers if he's that wildly inaccurate, and you mess around and find out at the end of the season. It would just suck if the Vikings, they find themselves in a position at the end of the year to where it's like, oh, this probably is not our guy.
Mm-hmm. That's what you have to find
I'll
out.
add one to this. We talked about this yesterday on the call. You look back into the offseason, right? And there's a lot of things that went on in Minnesota. They have Sam Darnold. He moves on to Seattle. Whether or not they offered the same amount of money or not, we'll never really know the truth of how it all went down. But they let Sam walk. He ends up in Seattle. He's having a great year. And then they have Daniel Jones, right? And from all reports and everyone internally saying, hey, they wanted Daniel back. They thought Daniel Jones was the best bang for their buck as far as what they'd have to pay him. And the guy that they saw when they picked him up when he got released from the Giants down the stretch of the season last year. So he signs with Indianapolis under the assumption, which proved to be right, that he could beat out Anthony Richardson, more likely that he'd play in Indianapolis than he measured that he would play if he stayed in Minnesota. So that all plays out and they go all in. But if they don't think JJ McCarthy's their guy, which I think they do and did and still do to a degree, they spent the second most money in the free agency in the entire league, only behind the New England Patriots. Right? So why did the Patriots do it? Because we've got Drake May on a young contract. We gotta attack this window for the next 4 years until we got to pay him $70 million by the time he's up. We got to capitalize on getting this roster as talented as we can in these next 4-year window, because we have this young rookie quarterback that is a stud. I think Minnesota took the exact same approach. They said, listen, we got 4 years left of JJ McCarthy on a rookie contract. We're paying him peanuts. We're not paying $50 million. We're not paying $60 million. We're going to go all in. We've got Justin Jefferson. We've got a veteran offensive line. We've got one of the top defenses every single year with Brian Flores leading the show. This is our window to capitalize. Kevin O'Connell has made every quarterback that he's worked with play the best version of themselves, and they went all in. Now you take a look and you say, okay, if you haven't hit on your quarterback, and if he's not the guy for the next 4 years, you're dead.
Yeah.
Because your cap situation stinks. You're over the cap. These contracts just balloon as time goes on. And this window you thought you had, 4 years from now, Justin Jefferson's 4 years older and Addison, and it all starts to break apart. So there is more than just winning and losing games in this moment. The next couple years are tied. Everything they've done organizationally and roster building, everything they've done is tied to the fact that they're going to have a rookie quarterback for the next 4 years.
Damn.
Yeah, that's it's kind of a mic drop right there.
Yeah, it is. The Minnesota Vikings find themselves in a very precarious situation. I don't know if this game was good. Was the Browns game taking place while you were calling the game? No, that was right after. That was right after your game.
I caught some of the highlights of the Browns game. Obviously, I saw Shedeur's touchdown. I saw Shedeur's post-game interview.
Yeah.
So I caught the highlights. I caught the parts that matter.
Obviously, he beat the Raiders 24-10. Every Browns quarterback making their first start, they are 0-17. So Shedeur Sanders, he wins his game, his first start as a quarterback. He's in a category of his own when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. He won his first game. Before the game, he's saying, I'm who the Browns have been looking for. Like, that's what he was trying to show. After the game, a lot of people want to see me fail, and it ain't going to happen. Beautiful. The next thing he says, imagine what a full offseason looks like, ... It's going to get dangerous. Okay? Donald Trump, he starts coming there telling, hey, Shedeur Sanders, he was great after the first game. He's saying, I told you so.
He said, great genes, I told you so.
45 and 47 has planted his flagpole in the Shedeur Sanders camp being like,
Trump commented on Shedeur Sanders beating the Raiders.
I was the first one to say it. The Browns are back because of me. You see the clip of Shedeur Sanders scrambling out to his right, throwing it deep. Myles Garrett face just lights up. He's like, I had 18 sacks, but now we finally have a quarterback.
Yeah.
This is the best Thanksgiving I'm ever going to have in my entire life. What the hell is going on in Cleveland? Has Stefanski, has he saved his job? Is Shedeur Sanders the second coming of Jesus the way they're saying he's going to be? Like, he didn't have like the greatest stat line in the world, but he operated. He scored 24 points.
He had a live arm. I think
it's more than 10 points average. They score a game. It's exciting.
And listen, at the very least, he adds a little excitement to the Browns because I don't know if you could have paid me enough to watch the Browns play the Raiders.
Right.
I mean, that's just bad ball. The Raiders they're the worst team in the league, and I don't even think it's close.
Over the Titans?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they are like bad.
I
think the Titans showed a little fight yesterday. I think Seattle's awesome.
Titans were making a push there at the end.
Titans' most competitive loss of the year happened yesterday. Yes.
I think they're competing. I think I've watched bits and pieces of Tennessee, and I know I'm probably biased because Cam Ward's a Miami guy, but like when I watch Cam Ward struggle in a one-win season, there's a lot of the moments, a lot of those games you come out and you go, okay, yes, I know they haven't won a game and I know he's actually thrown some, but that doesn't look like a young rookie quarterback who's playing above the level that he looks like he belongs. Like that's a guy that looks like he's competitive, he's tough, he's going to throw some ball to the wrong guy. His team stinks. They're not competitive. They've already fired the coach, but that dude belongs. Like that's how I watch Cam Ward. Like, so wins and losses, but to Shedeur's point, again, you don't apologize for who you beat. The Raiders stink. Who do the Browns play next week? Do you know?
Let me look it up for you.
Sherman, you mind?
They're going to play some real teams, right? So I just think you have to be very careful. And I know he likes being the bad guy. He likes being the villain. He plays into it. He did in college.
They got the 49ers.
To each their own. But this is a very humbling sport. And yes, you got off to a good start. You beat the Raiders. You don't apologize. And more power to him. But Kevin Stefanski's not dumb. Kevin Stefanski's a very good football coach. If he thought Shedeur Sanders was the answer to the problems and the answer to saving his job, Shedeur would have been the quarterback weeks ago. So the notion that he's not playing Shedeur because he wants him to fail is nonsense. We've all been around this league long enough.
That's the craziest take I've ever heard.
People would play their worst enemy in the world if it thought that they could win and save their job. So the notion that Kevin Stefanski is going to go down and have the best quarterback in his roster not play just out of principle or because he doesn't like his post-game interviews, I think is nonsense. So hopefully he is that guy. I like Shedeur coming out of college. I think he's got some physical skills. He's big, he's strong. I thought he was awesome in college. There's something, though, behind the scenes as a reason why Kevin Stefanski hasn't turned to him sooner. And we don't know. We're not at practice. We're not in meetings. We don't know what that looks like. But that's an obvious, to conclude that is not a real leap of faith.
Yeah. I'm rooting for the kid. Like you said, it's one of those things where he's going to play some real football teams, and I hope he does well. Like I root for him. I root for his story just because, again, he fell in the draft. He's a 5th-round guy. People love to beat up on him. People love to also root for him, but people also love to hate. It's just like when you see his post-game pressers, I'm just thinking, buddy, just caution yourself. Right. Speaking to your own movie. Like you're the second, like you're the one that was chosen, and then also just speaking to your haters. It's just again, because all you do is you put yourself in a spot for eternity on critics and everybody like assuming being right until you essentially all you can do is win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The way he ends up chirping at times. And it's just, I'm rooting for him. I want more people to root for him.
Yeah.
And when those things like that get said, when those things happen, it's like, I understand why people come after him. Just like I understand people rooting for him. So it's all of those things. It's like, bro, just talk about the team, talk about, the gratitude of being in the spot. You got a big one next week. You got to stack another one.
Right.
And just keep the head down and keep going.
Because you're right. His post-game press conference is extremely short-sighted, and it plays exactly what you said. Like, he is the main character of his movie.
Yeah.
In his mind, there's no other movies taking place in the world, even though we're all kind of dealing with ours. And he's like, I told y'all, imagine this, imagine that. It's like, okay, enjoy that for the next 6 days because you have another judgment day coming against the 49ers on Sunday. And so, and if he does have, let's say he has success against the 49ers, let's say he wins 5 games, 5 more games or whatever. That's great. He's going to have an awesome offseason, but then the goalpost is going to move again. Okay, can you be a playoff quarterback? And then if he makes the playoffs, okay, goalpost moves again. Can you win a Super Bowl? So the haters are always going to have something to hold on to unless you're end up being a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
That's truly all they have.
I'll tell you what, though. His schedule, 49ers on a short week, defensively are struggling. We'll see them tonight against Carolina. The Bears, they play the Bears next. The Bears defense is not good. The Steelers, hit or miss. The Titans, the Bills. Okay, that's a real.
But their defense
Bengals.
Bill's defense
is a little suspect.
But that's his final 6 games. That's the 6 games that he's going to finish the season. So
hey, so you know something. Oh, so you're liking it. I'm over here talking like this is Icarus. We got Icarus on our hand. He's flying a little close to the sun.
No. That is not my style. The post-game press conference, the talking shit, the hate, calling out the haters, like the notion. To your point, he's the only character in the movie, and like all of us have just been spending all of our time wearing. I'll be honest, I haven't given 2 thoughts to the Cleveland Browns quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, or whether any of them.
Right.
I haven't spent 1 minute. So the notion that like there's all these haters and stuff, I get how a lot of guys use that as like their motivation, and they use that, and more power to them. You win, you could say whatever you want. I am of the opinion of if you win and you're good, you can say and do virtually whatever you want as long as you're a good teammate and the guys in the building really like you and really go to bat for you. If you have that, you can say whatever the hell you want in the media as long as you win. But you better win.
Right.
And you better play well, because if you don't, now that becomes a distraction, that becomes an issue, and now it becomes all of our problems. Now we all have to answer for your post-game press conferences when you don't win and when you don't play well and all of that. So I'm with you about him pumping the tires a little bit, but we're going to find out a lot because that 6-game stretch is by no means a gauntlet. And if he plays well, he deserves a lot of credit. But if he struggles down the stretch against those guys, he's going to have a lot of people come after him, and that's just the nature of the business.
It is very interesting that Shedeur Sanders is the main storyline coming out of Cleveland when Myles Garrett has 18 sacks right now with 6 games left and is probably most likely going to beat Michael Strahan's sack record in a season. And that'll happen. It'll be a fart in the wind. Like, hey, Myles Garrett did it. He did something incredible that, Michael Strahan's held this prestigious accolade for 20 years or whatever it is. And then we'll just move on to, but what did Shedeur do? He threw a pick. Is he washed? Is he done? Is it over? So it's
the Shedeur story though. Like that's been such a headline since he fell in the draft, or maybe didn't fall in it, whatever. It's been such a storyline, but such a hot topic to talk about. He finally gets a start, and it was one of those games like I didn't watch the game because it was Browns Raiders, but like after they win, and I see people throwing up his highlights on the internet and stuff. I'm like, I'm wanting to go in and see like, okay, let's see how he did in the post game. Like I want to hear from Shedeur, and then I hear him in the post game press. I'm like, oh no,
because you're watching it unfold. You're seeing someone like live on a win way too hard, which we've all seen, whether it be high school, college, NFL. We all know of a guy in our head right now that rode that high a little too hard, and it's like, oh, buddy, there is a cataclysmic situation coming down the pipe for you right now.
You just think to yourself, like, all right, if you want to apply all this pressure to you, which again I respect, you got to go out and you got to continue to sling the rock. You got to continue to get better, so he can continue to, speak to his haters after.
Shedeur strikes me as a guy that is, I don't think he's playing 3D chess. I don't think he's like sitting there looking 5-6 moves ahead of everybody else right now. He's a moment type of cat. And where he's in a great moment right now. But I think if he lays an egg on Sunday against the 49ers, he's like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said those things.
Speaking of great moments, a great moment we got to live in yesterday. They didn't win the football game, but just the feeling and moment that we get to hold on to and capture that we'll be telling our kids about one day or telling the next generations about. But Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Going out there, slinging the rock, catching touchdown passes,
It's beautiful.
trick plays. Like, it's so fun to watch that man play football. It really is.
Right.
It really is. Like, anytime he's on and he gets to be the starting quarterback, you don't know what's going to happen, but you know it's
No
going to be
idea.
electric. You're going to get a pregame speech, which he gave. He's like, well, we might be inside, or what did he say? Something
He said,
like,
we might be inside, we'd be outside today, or the opposite. I'm not even sure.
yeah. But
We might be outside, but we inside. And all the streamers and all the networks and everyone's fighting for like content. Someone needs to buy Jameis Winston's exclusive pregame speech, and it's only allowed to air on your network.
Yeah.
That is like, it is must listen, must watch, whatever you want to classify it as. We had a lot of like game breaks, during the game. We'll like go to Carissa Thompson in the studio at Fox, and she'll do like a game break, and she'll give us an update when a team scores or whatever. And then early in our game, they went to a bunch of game breaks because the Giants, he caught the like flea flicker touchdown or whatever he caught, and he threw a touchdown. So it kept being like Jameis Winston highlights for the first half of our game breaks. And he is a thrill a minute. You talk about a guy who's going to let it rip, and a couple of them might go to the wrong team, but like he doesn't bat an eye. He does not care.
He's unfazable.
It does not affect his next throw. He is a special cat as far as just his personality and his outlook. And everybody who's ever played with him absolutely loves him.
Loves him,
Yeah.
bro. The leadership he keeps, like while he's in the game, like talking to his guys, just everything.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching him.
He's really
Greg, have
he's something.
you seen the movie Animal House?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I know Will hasn't, so I didn't want to kind of give this reference. But his pregame speeches remind me when Bluto stands up. He's like, over. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? The guy leans back and goes, just let him go. He's on a roll. Like, that to me is Jameis Winston. Every time he's got a mic on him, and I'm like, bro, he might say things that we, the common man, can't understand. And I clearly am a common man, but I absolutely love it. Like, anytime when he went and did the Super Bowl, was it with Fox? I think he did like a Fox Super Bowl thing where he was like going around New Orleans. I'm like, bro, this dude needs to be on TV 24/7. He's going to make more money off the field when he's done than when he's like now, when he's on the field playing in the NFL. It's so beautiful, bro. It's amazing.
He's something.
He's one of a kind. It sickens me that Will does not understand that reference.
I know. One day I will. One day I'll watch Animal House.
You got to.
But his quote was, "We outside, but we inside."
yeah.
And then he's like, "I don't care what boundaries you have to cross, by any means necessary. However, we can get the win today." I know if I'm like standing in the huddle, I'll be like laughing to myself. Like, I don't care what boundaries you have to cross,
dude.
You're just thinking of the most extreme shit in your head. Like,
I hated pregame speeches. It didn't matter who it was. It could have been like the guy in Miracle, the coach in Miracle, giving like the greatest speech before a game of all time when we beat the Russians. Like, I was not a big like pregame speech guy. I didn't need it. I didn't care for it. I would just, if I was his teammate, I know I would be like in my back of my mind, rolling my eyes, like, all right, let's move on with this.
yeah.
But there's something about when Jameis does it that like, it does hold my interest.
Yeah.
It does. For a guy who hates pregame speeches, there's something about Jameis that I'm actually like, all right, keep going, dude. Like, have your moment,
I was
kinda like it.
I was a little bit like that. Anytime someone was like kind of nice on the mic, like they gave a good pregame speech, I'd be front and center. Like, I'm
Right.
I'm
You
ready to
wanna
hear
hear it.
this. But when you got the guy be like, we all here, we brothers, it's like, all right, let's fucking let's go
We're
play
good.
the football
I got
game.
it.
Like,
We're gonna play for each other.
I get it.
We don't need anybody
we're all
outside
we
this room.
have. No
Yeah.
one here believes in us. Like, I get it. I've heard all the things. Let's move on. But you got
I
a
like
coach.
post-game speeches better.
Yeah, dude, if I had a high school coach, Charlie Regal, that would give these pregame speeches speeches, and my eyes would be welting up before the game. Like, I'm prepared to die for this man. They were the greatest, the greatest team speeches ever.
Yeah, that's a different animal.
That's when you're ready. Like any coach says can get you motivated in high school because it's Friday night. It's all these movies that are playing in your head. You want to go to the league, all this stuff. Like that's greatness. But once you're there, we did have one guy's name was Martrell Spade where he got people juiced up. He'd be like, "Fuck the peace, we want war," and everybody would just be going nuts with him. Tell him Spade.
See that's a line to me. I'd be like, "Oh shit!" Like he's doing like the next speech he gives. I'm gonna kind of shoot myself up to the front a little bit, dude. But
then there's some that you're sitting there like Greg's talking about. We're like, all right, hey, let's just get this. We had Deshaun Golston one year. He was with us in Washington. Loved D Gold, but he was giving us a speech like after practice talking about the upcoming game. And he'd be like, I just got the phone with my boy. He was he's in the military in Afghanistan. And he would have to pull the trigger on anybody. Could be little kids, could be a little girl, and he's got to pull the trigger. Just when we go into this game this weekend, flip the switch, take the safety off. And I looked to my teammate on the left. I'm like, what's he want us to kill kids this weekend?
Dude, this is textbook. You know a bad speech is coming. Pre-game, everyone takes a knee. All right, yeah, our Father, Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Like you do the prayer. Everyone kind of stands up. Coach hits you with something. Like Vrabel would always kind of talk about like how the game is about to go. And he did a great job of like crystal balling the game. He finishes. All right, bring it up. Let's get out of here. And someone goes, hey, I got something to say real quick. That is the moment you know we're about to lose some juice right here. That's when you know shit is about to go downhill. And it's always a guy that almost had the C on his chest. Hey, I got something real quick about that. Let me ninja smoke and fade to the back real quick as this dude's about to
You can't be a topper.
Can't be a topper. Yeah, you can't be a cherry on top guy, man.
Yeah, everybody slowly puts their arm down and steps back and looks at him.
I got something to say. It's like, fuck, dude. Here we go.
Dude, how about the Rams just beating the hell out of the Bucs last night?
Donkey stomping. And this is a good example of like we talked about Shedeur and like, hey, now the haters are gonna come for you no matter what. Baker Mayfield has found himself in this world where he was one of the most hated guy by the quote unquote media haters when he first got in the league. Now it's like Baker can do no wrong. Like he wasn't having a great game, ends up getting hurt, and the Rams run away with it. Everyone's like, if Baker stays healthy, we get this team healthy, like this is a contending team. So your heart goes out to the Bucs, but Matthew Stafford, man, is incredible. With 25 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 37 years old.
It might be 27.
Excuse me, 27. 28. Oh, Mitch over here.
Last 8 games, 25.
How many?
Mitch, go ahead, hit the mic. What is it?
In the last 8 games, Stafford has 25 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
He's a surgeon out there right now.
A surgeon.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You got him as a front runner for the MVP race? I know it's kind of him and Drake Mays who everybody's
I think it's him
about.
and Drake May. I think a lot of that is starting to come into, and again, we got 6 weeks left, so a lot could change. But yeah, as of right now, it's him and Drake May, I think, have separated themselves from the pack. They check all the boxes. Quarterbacks, top teams in the league. They cover it all. I think Vrabel's coach of the year, barring some catastrophe down the stretch. I don't how does he turning around the Patriots in literally one season is pretty remarkable. But yeah, I mean, watching Stafford play last night, it wasn't too long ago, back in August, there was a lot of people saying, is this guy ever going to play again?
Right.
He can't practice. He's out 6 weeks. He can't move. He's got a back. And now not only is he playing on one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league, he's the best player in the league. And he's starting games 11 for 11, and he's letting it rip. And Devontae Adams looks like Devontae Adams of 5 years ago, and Puka Nacua, and running this McVay offense. So yeah, he's incredible. They won that game we did 2 weeks ago, that great game against Seattle. Neither offense played particularly great. Obviously, Stafford just did a nice job not turning the ball over, and they did just enough to win the game. But his entire body of work, yeah. If I'm casting a vote right now, I'm voting for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast, dude.
And I cannot wait to see the rematch of those two teams play because, yeah, Sam Darnold has 4 interceptions in that game, and they still have a field goal to go and win it at the end. Those are the two teams in my head, especially with the Eagles absolutely fumbling. Clump, look at me. Fumbling a 21-0 Like they were up 21-0.
They haven't blown a 21-point lead since 1999.
Oh, I was 8. I mean, Greg was in college. That's crazy.
High school.
Easy,
I mean,
boys,
it's just
easy.
those are the two teams in my head that it's like, oh, this is going to be the representative out of the NFC. They are. They're that good. You see the Seahawks step up from a defensive standpoint when they played the Rams and they're getting that many turnovers. It's beautiful to watch the NFC West right now. They're beautiful.
What do you make of? Let's just get on the topic of the Eagles. What do you make of the Eagles?
Man, they are a tough nut to crack. I'll tell you, I've had them a couple times this year, and I've gone into the game saying, I don't know why they're not better on offense. You know, they got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and, you know, 2 of the best tackles in football and a really good offensive line. And Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP. I would find myself going into games and being like, then why aren't they better? Like, what is missing? Why is this not a consistent high-flying offense? And I had them early in the year against the Rams. They did nothing in the first half. And then in the second half, they absolutely exploded and they come back and they beat the Rams. And I walk out of the stadium, I'm like, they're really good.
Right. They're figuring
and I had
out
them
their
against
identity.
the Vikings. And it was probably the best game Jalen Hurts has played all season long. He was incredible. He was letting it rip. Passing game. Then they get Saquon going after they kind of spread everybody out. And I walk out and I'm like, okay, they're pretty good. So like every time I see them in person, I walk out of the stadium saying they're wildly talented. They're really hard to beat because they don't have just one path to victory. They can beat you defensively. They can beat you on the ground, in the air. They can win close games. They can win low scoring. They've won some shootouts. They're just a tough beat. But then you watch them on a larger scale. You watch them over a larger sample size, and you just say there's something missing. Like, why is a team with that roster and that depth and that pedigree of coaching and the amount of wins that they've had, like, why are they so up and down? Why is there so much drama coming out? Why is there a story every single week coming out of the locker room? I don't get it. I'm a huge Sirianni guy. I love him. I love that he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's got a little shit to him. I like that. I don't need my coach to be a choir boy. Like, I like he's got some fire and shit to him. I just can't put my finger on why it's such a roller coaster and why it's such a wild ride, because personnel-wise, I don't know. Is it the turnover of the offensive coordinators every year? They've had 5 coordinators over the last couple. Like, maybe it's that. Maybe it's. They're one of the few teams that I just have a really hard time coming up with like a concrete. Here's what they are, because every time you think you do, the next game,
right,
they're the complete opposite.
Right. It's because I've kind of been trolling the Eagles fan base all year long, because I'm with you. Like, I've always felt something when you're watching the game. To me, it's like they don't have near as good of a running game as they did last year, which it's like, okay, say they take a step back. You still got Saquon Barkley. You still got a pretty decent line of scrimmage. Is it the play calling, the simplicity of it at times? Is it tendency oriented? And then also it's like we all understand now that there is drama inside the locker room, whether it's with AJ and Jalen, with other teammates, it all seems to kind of go around Jalen a little bit. And when you put a microscope on Jalen's play, to me, when I watch Jalen Hurts play, like, unless he knows exactly what he's doing with the football, or a guy is just wide open in front of his face, he's not letting it rip. Like, his timing isn't always there. His timing is, again, when he's on, I say in rhythm. I'm not saying he gets in rhythm all the time, but when he knows exactly what he's doing when that ball is snapped, he looks good. But the moment he gets his first option gets taken away, or he's got to move his feet a little bit, he misses guys over the middle that are right there. It would be tight windows where you see a lot of quarterbacks still zipping those in. He doesn't take those chances. And so when you have that and you don't have a run game, like, that offense is very average, and it's crazy to stay with the talent and the names that they have on that offense. Defense, I think they play elite football. Like, they're good front to back. They got a lot of depth. They got hogs up front. They got linebackers that can run and hit. They got DBs that can cover, except for, people kind of put a blemish on a Dory Jackson at times. But again,
he's played better though, and he got hurt this past game.
Yeah, he got hurt this past game. But their defense plays really well. And when it comes down to the offense, and you're not going to be able to run the ball with Saquon Barkley, dude, if you're not getting the ball out fast with Jalen, or just taking these random shots downfield at times, again, when he knows what he's going to be doing with the football, like, they're a very average team.
No, I agree with you. I think it goes. You have to look at two specific things because you're right. Well, you point out the roster they have an offense, Greg. Like there should be no reason for them not to be successful in the NFL. They are an all-star cast. Their offense. Lane Johnson's obviously gone down, but there's two things to me you look at. You look at Jalen Hurts the way you just explained, or you look at who the OC is and how they're calling the games and how they're schematically like getting these players open because you have aliens on both sides of you. And Goddard, like you have a good tight end also, and you have the protection. So to me, it's like, all right, it's either got to be the OC or it's got to be the quarterback that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because it is the most confusing offense to look at. What Clump and I were texting about yesterday, it's like at this point, the Cowboys are starting to come back. I'm like, they're gonna win. But it's like, this is the most boring offense to watch. When you have these aliens, it should be one of the more exciting offenses to watch. But you're right, like he does not, if his first read is not open, it's like you have no idea what's going to take place.
Yeah, like, and again, people might be thinking I'm just like pulling this out of thin air too, because again, I'll troll some fan bases at times. But if there was like 8:52 on the clock yesterday in the fourth quarter, he had the tight end, whoever the tight end was. If he just rips it over the middle, he's got an easy completion right there. And then the very last play of the game, Dallas is in cover one. And his first read's not open. He has enough time to still rip the ball before he gets hit or before he takes a sack, whatever happened on that last play. But Devontae Smith whoops, old buddy, for a corner route, and he doesn't rip the ball because he's not taking those chances.
Right. Anytime you go back and watch that film and you see where Jalen Hurts throws it, you see receivers open and other parts of the field. And it's like, it's tough. Greg, what are we doing here?
Here's the one big thing that I'll leave, and this is not so much specifically about Philly as much as it's just like a general observation around the league. Going from one year to the next, there's a couple things that are sustainable and a couple things that inevitably regress back to the mean. One of them is defense in general, the ability for that defense to take the ball away. And then the other thing is the explosive nature of a run game. Typically, those things don't last year over year over year. There's some sort of like anomaly of a season, right? You're just talking about Minnesota. Last year, they had 33 takeaways. This year, they have 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same defensive coordinator, give or take a lot of the same guys. I know Grenard's missed some times. Van Ginkel's missed some times. Last year, he was incredible. So there's always nuance, but that's the NFL, right? You're not going to have the same health track record. You're not going to have the same people at every position year over year. It's hard to rest your hat on those elements. The one element of NFL football that for the most part carries over year after year after year is really high level quarterback play. Really good quarterbacks' range of outcomes is typically smaller. They could have better years or worse years in some sort of level of, there's a spectrum of their performance, but it's typically not the same regression from top tier quarterbacks. Top tier running games, it's going to be up and down. The ability of a defense to defend points given up historically, those things don't typically last over long periods of time. So we're seeing a regression in the ability to take the ball away. You're seeing a regression in the explosive runs that really powered their Super Bowl run. And then obviously Jalen Hurts was awesome in the Super Bowl and was the MVP. But Saquon ripping off 65-yard touchdowns in what seemed like every single playoff game. He ripped off 2 against the Rams to beat them or else they go home. It's just hard to count on that. You're just not going to get that over long periods of time, over multiple seasons in a row. Regression is real. And if you're built your team around those things, you better strike while you're riding the high, because no matter how much you coach it, you can't guarantee how turnovers come and you can't guarantee explosive run plays. It just doesn't work like that. And the Eagles are one of 100 examples going on around the league where teams aren't as good as they were last year and people are trying to figure out why.
You broke that down really well.
Really well.
Because I always hate too, when you start to zoom in on a team, then you have to zoom in on certain players, and then it's like you have to nitpick their game a lot. Like you kind of bringing it back out and taking a couple samples from explosive runs and turnovers and everything else, how it all marries together. It's like there's another element there too that stays true, and that's high level quarterback play. You broke that down really well. Just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah, giving the flowers.
Yeah.
I think this might be the last game before we let you go, but the Chiefs keep their playoff chances alive. They play against the Colts. They go to overtime. They end up winning, beating the Colts 23-20 at home. Will, and this is just a note, Will getting cooked for his Chiefs no playoffs take. Does he still believe they won't make it? That's a question for Will. But the Chiefs are down 11, right? And they rally back, make it. They're down 20-9, rally back, go to the overtime, and they end up winning that game. What is this? Is this the Colts fumbling the bag here, Willie? Is this the Chiefs that they're actually just that good? Defense. I'll let you take this one first before we go to Greg.
The Chiefs are the most formidable opponent I have ever faced in my life. I've been hunting this team for a few years now, and anytime you feel like you got them dead in the rights, they avoid it somehow, and they looked good on that comeback yesterday against the Colts. Couple penalties there that you can start to grab. Here comes the referees for the Chiefs now.
This is Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny to a T. Like, we've seen this battle before, but keep going.
Yeah, look, I Willie, see, I personally don't have them making the playoffs. Like, there are still many opportunities on the board left. It's going to start getting tight. I'm going to start getting a little bit more uncomfortable in the pocket, but I've lived in this lane so long, I got to stay in the lane, so I'm going to. I don't have them making the playoffs. Colts had a tough beat in OT against a good Chiefs football team in Arrowhead.
Mm-hmm.
Colts are going to have to take care of business this weekend against the Texans because they could find themselves in a little bit of a dust up there in the AFC South that we were talking about earlier. But I'm not, look, you can't hit them all. You can't hit them all. Yesterday, I thought I was going to take an ass whooping all day long. I was on ESPN national television, just telling all the families in Kansas City, get ready for your children to start asking for Bo Nix jerseys. Chiefs dynasty's over. Rome has fallen. You're not going to make the playoffs since 2014. Now there's a heartbeat there. I also was on national television talking about Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles. Because again, I'm bad at picking against the Eagles. The Eagles have been stuffing it down my throat week in and week out. But I saw something with the Dallas Cowboys. It looked real bleak yesterday when the Cowboys were down 21-0. But to get that win out at the end of the night, that felt good. But as far as the Chiefs go, they're still in a division that the Broncos are going to win. They're still going to have to battle in the wild card spot with the Chargers. You're looking at Jaguars. You're looking at the Texans. Who else in the AFC that could they be battling with? Steelers or Ravens. You could go. You can go either.
Ravens are now winning the division,
right? But they're going to be in a wild card hunt. The Chiefs are as they try to make the playoffs. So that's kind of the only thing I can hang my hat on is, okay, they beat the Colts. They were at Arrowhead. They will not be at Arrowhead come playoff time.
So if they make the playoffs, do you win the war? If they make the playoffs, but they get kicked, they get bounced in the wild card.
There's still a job to be done, and that's keeping them from winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, so that's the farther goalpost. Your first goalpost. So let's keep them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, first one. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep this team out of the playoffs.
Greg?
Well, let's just talk about. And again, I catch the recaps of most of these games, but like the main tipping points of what kind of determines the outcome. And I think Shane Steichen, if it wasn't for the job Vrabel's doing, I'd probably say Shane Steichen's the coach of the year, because I don't think anybody in a million years thought that the Colts would be having the season that they have had with Daniel Jones and the resurgence of his career and coming off the poor drafting of Anthony Richardson or the poor development, whatever you want to classify that being. Obviously, that was a miss. And then they bring in Daniel Jones and they're having a great year. They look like they're on their way to the playoffs and they've had some great games. But you look at the end of that game, you have the ball on the plus side of the 50 with 4-ish minutes to go, up by 3 on 4th and 4, and you punt.
Yeah.
Because it feels safe. It feels like I don't have to answer for this. Hey, the defense has to do a better job getting a stop. Hey, we got to execute in overtime. If you give the ball to Patrick Mahomes to go the long way, even if you fail and you give him the ball and he goes down and kicks a field goal, you're probably getting the ball back.
Right.
Or he goes down and scores a touchdown to take the lead. You're going to get the ball back. But now you punt, and I don't know exactly where he took over. Let's say it was a good punt and it's inside the 15, 10-yard line and you pin him back. That's the idea of punting from the plus side of the field. If he scores on you, he probably took up all of it, or it's at least under the 2-minute by the time he scores by field goal or touchdown. You're not going to possess the ball. And sure as hell, what do? They take a long, methodical drive. Yep. They run the clock all the way down. They kick a field goal. They force overtime, and Indianapolis never touches the ball again in regulation. So again, once you get to overtime, the variance is out the window, right? Overtime is a whole new game. The idea is to make decisions that give you the best chance to win in regulation. You don't punt 4th and 4 on the plus side of your opponent's team with a 3-point lead with 4 minutes. You just can't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
You just can't do it. And if you fail and they go the short way and you lose, you've got to stand at the podium and you've got to eat it like Dan Campbell does multiple times. You got to eat it. But this whole notion of like, I'm going to let my defense win it. I'm going to play field position. It's a crock of shit. Teams are continuing to lose and lose and lose because they don't want to stand up there and face the music if it goes the wrong way. They'd rather, you lost anyway. But now hey, we got to play better defense. Hey, we got to do a better job in overtime. Hey, we got to. But if you fail on 4th and 4 and you lose, the only question you're being asked is, why did you not punt?
Right.
And coaches are uncomfortable. They don't like it. And this is not unique to Shane Steichen. It's pretty much every coach around the league with the exception of a couple.
Yeah,
it drives me insane.
And you give, another asset to the Chiefs. Like one of their weaknesses throughout the entire season is running the football.
Right.
When the defense is on the field that long, now their weakness becomes they're able to complement more, and it can become a strength. Like Kareem Hunt they end up running the ball well at the end of the game because the defense was on the field for like 80-something plays. They're drained. So now you're getting attacked by this Chiefs offense who's not very good at running the football. Now they can basically do everything to you.
Right.
Especially going into OT.
Because one thing that Greg doesn't like, which is running the football, the thing that the Chiefs did
I do
is they
like
sat.
running the
Well, hold on. They sat back and they said, from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, we are going to establish the run as a threat that the Colts have to defend, and they did that, and it paid off dividends for them because the Chiefs, with the way they've kind of changed their game, is like they used to be able to splash. Hey, we're gonna hit you with X play after X play. We're gonna march on the field in a minute and a half, and we're gonna get a touchdown. We're gonna move on. Now our defense is gonna stand up. The Chiefs have had to change a little bit, and you see it most prominent in this game against the Colts. Is from the first snap to the last snap, they utilized the running back as a weapon for them to get them into third and manageable and keep the chains moving. They killed them with time of possession. So if you're Steichen, I agree with everything you said, Greg. Is like you're 4th and 4. At this point, I think we can all agree, if you're between the 40s, you don't punt anymore. Like you bend the knee, you live and die by the sword, and you continue to play the game that way. And I think if you go for it, like, hey, you get it, you're able to probably win that game. You're going to kick 3, or you're going to end up scoring a touchdown. If you don't get it, you have a lot more time. Like you were pointing out, you're going to have 1, 2, maybe even 3 minutes left to go and put a drive together to have a game-winning field goal. So I hate it for Steichen because if he doesn't get it, it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But like, how are you going out? You're going out the bitch way. You're out the hey, I'm going to die on my sword way, and the die on my sword way is going for it on 4th. But run the football. That's a huge win for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and the answer is really easy. Hey, why did you go for it there? Why not punt? The answer is because I'm kicking the ball to arguably the best player of the generation. We've seen him time and time again go down there and find a way to at least tie that game up.
Yeah.
So by giving them the ball at the, when they possess the ball at the minus 45, 40, whatever it ended up being, as opposed to the minus 10, the likelihood of after they tie the game up, I now will get another possession because the goal is not to go to overtime. The goal is to win in regulation. There is no forcing overtime. That is not part of any of these decision processes. And if they are, the coaches are wrong. Every decision is about, I want the game to end in regulation with me winning. Their run game, they ran the ball 41 times for 148 yards, 3.6 yards a carry.
Love it. Love that.
That is
I love that.
Give it to him, Greg.
They threw for 352 yards.
Balanced offense. Love it.
No, but the part everyone's forgetting is it's not about ball control. It's not about time of possession. It's about how many points can you score. And until they kicked an end of game, like walk off to send to overtime field goal, only because the Colts decided to give you the ball back. They had 17 points.
Greg, I love where you're coming from. Here's what I'll say, dude.
You can't points
you're playing
running
a team.
the ball for 3.5 yards. I don't care if you ran the ball 250 times. You can't run the ball for 3.5 yards 40 plus times and think you're going to score any points.
You can't.
And the
You also
goal
throw
is
for
to
300
score
yards.
points.
Greg, if you are playing a team that is number one in every major category on the offensive side of the ball, you as the Chiefs and Andy Reid has to sit back and go, okay, can we go point for point with them? The answer to that is no. So how do you beat a team that puts points on the board fast, often, and can do it in multitude of ways?
I get it.
You
That's
have to,
my
you have
point
to
about
win
why
time of possession.
Indianapolis has to
and
be
run the
more
ball.
aggressive on offense is my point.
Okay, I'm just making sure. We're on the same page. I love it.
No, I never fault the inferior team for playing low possession ball control. I get that whole argument. That argument is going to be, you're not going to win any meaningful games. You might win that game. Like, that is not a recipe for winning over long sample sizes. My argument is, if I'm Indianapolis and I'm Shane Steichen, I'm not giving the ball back to Mahomes. I don't care if they had 2 points the whole game. We've seen Mahomes in those moments kill people and just end their dreams and go down and do what he did yesterday, regardless of how the rest of the game goes on. But to pretend that running 41 times for 148 yards is a sustainable model for winning NFL games over long periods of time, it's just not. Now, you want to show me a run game that did matter yesterday? Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes.
He ran the
what do
ball
you have
17 times for 200 and something yards. That's a great run game. Yes. That's a better run game than a passing game. Yes. But he's averaging 10 yards a carry.
I agree with you. If we go back to the Chiefs and the Colts, the thing that makes Andy Reid so great is he evaluates not only the team he's playing against, but the team he has. And he's like, okay, where does our best line up against their best? And from an offensive standpoint, offense versus offense, it did not play well. I don't disagree with you that running the ball 41 times a game for 3.6 yards per carry is a sustainable thing throughout the season. However, if that is what it calls for to catch a W, then that's what you need to do. Now, if they go and play the Raiders next week, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm like, well, yeah, we don't need to run the football.
Chiefs got to go to Dallas next week.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if Chiefs have to go to Dallas next week, I'm thinking now we open it up because the defense has played well for the Cowboys the last couple of weeks, but our best is better than their best, and so I trust Patrick Mahomes ripping the ball down the field versus the Cowboys defense as opposed to holding time of possession and those sorts of things. So I'm with you, and I'm also.
And do you think for as good as Spags is and as good as the Chiefs defense is, and I think they're really good, do you think 17 points is enough to beat the Dallas Cowboys?
No. I think it's a different football team. You're playing a different football team.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I just, we heard this last night 1,000 times listening to the Rams game. It's like, man, everyone's so worried about this Rams running game and this passing attack. They had 31 points at halftime and they had 22 yards rushing.
Yeah.
The notion that people are scoring all these points because of these run games is just so stupid.
You're moving the goalpost on me. I'm saying, what does the game call for as a coach? And in the Chiefs, the best way for them to win was eat up time of possession, force feed the football from a ground game perspective, because for whatever reason, your receivers, you don't have the ability to push the ball from an X-play standpoint down the field. And the offense on the other side of the field, they're number one in every major statistic, every category. So you have to keep their offense off the field by eating up time possession. How do you do that? Run the football 41 times.
No, I get that. Hence the original. No, I agree with what you're saying.
So are we agreeing or are we agreeing?
It goes back to what I said about what Indianapolis did. You're Shane Steichen. You have an opportunity for the knockout shot. You've got the ball plus side, 4 minutes to go in the game. Why give the ball back? Give your offense, this offense that everyone's, you're saying is like so amazing and they're the best in the league. Give them an extra down to pick up the first down. And now you come out of the game and you win whatever to 17. And what's is the conversation this morning with Kansas City? Man, that run game really did. No, the conversation is their offense can't score any points.
Right. I'm with you. And I agree with the 4th and 4, the Colts, all that.
That's the bigger picture at play. Like that's the thing that I just continue to try to pound from the rooftops, because in the postseason, when all the shitty teams are out and all the bad teams are out and it's only the good teams, now defense, run game, ball control, turnover battle, field position. Yes, all of that now has a much greater impact on the outcome of the game, because for the most part, you're only left with the good teams.
Yeah.
In the regular season, if you can't throw the ball, consistently, week in and week out, you will not score enough points to win.
I agree.
Yeah, Greg, too. You're like the recipe. Give them another down to go out there and get a new set of downs. Or if not, and the Chiefs go down and score, at least you give that offense another opportunity for a series.
Of course.
Everything
It's what
pointed
every
towards
good
you
team
should
in the
go
league
for it
is
on 4th and
doing.
4.
It's
Go
what
for
every
it.
good defense, Seahawks, the Eagles to a degree, the Rams, they're playing nickel and dime. They're saying, I want you to run the ball. Remember, the question everyone needs to ask themselves, if you just take a step back and say, okay, what's the easiest way to formulate this? If you ask defensive coordinators, hey, you call the plays. You now get to call the plays that you're going to defend. What types of plays will defensive coordinators choose to defend? 3.5 to 4.5 yard runs. That sounds amazing to every D coordinator in the league. They will sign up for 40 of those tomorrow. So why would you do it?
Yeah.
What does they want you to punt? They want you to kick a field goal from 4th and goal to 4. The question should be, what does the other side want me to do? I'm going to do the opposite. Yet we continue to see teams all across the league make decisions that are actually in agreement with their opponent, what the opponent would choose them to do for them over and over and over again.
Love this ball.
And it's all emotion. It feels right. It feels tough. I feel like I'm a tough team because I can run. I feel tough because I can defend the run. You're not going to run the ball down my throat. You're going to score in 2 plays instead of 10. That's what people like. It's just so stupid.
No, I'm with you on everything you just said.
It's so emotional. And football people don't like having their toughness questioned. And for 20 plus years, we've had it force-fed down our throat, the value of stopping the run and it's nonsense. I'm going to stop 50-yard runs. I'm going to stop Jahmyr Gibbs running for 220 on 17 carries. Yes, I need to stop that. I don't need to stop 41 for 148. That's great. Patrick Mahomes threw for 352 yards.
I feel like he's yelling at us now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not yelling at you.
I think
I know, but I feel like I'm
we've
in the
gotten to the
locker
point where we're
room.
all on the same page.
Yeah.
We're all agreeing at this
No,
point.
I love you. This is not you. I'm yelling this to the ether. You guys just give me the platform to do this.
No,
love
I love being in this position, feeling
Yeah.
like my head ball coach is talking to me and really giving me a life lesson.
Best
right now.
ball coaches, there might be a million people in the room. If he makes you feel like he's just talking to you, that's a good ball coach.
Like Greg is right, but I'm still gonna walk off this bus saying we need to stop the run this week. Like I'm still gonna do it, knowing that he is right, and I also enjoy a nice. I enjoy a nice little take the points phrase. I won't like Greg. I like a little take the points phrase.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
you're
think
not in a
Dallas-
position to take the
What do
points
you
if you're
think about
4th
the
and 4.
end? Dallas 21-21 chance to kick the field goal at the, I don't know, what was it, the 5-4? Where were they when they kicked it, when they decided to go for it?
I wanted him to take the points.
Will's always going to take points.
Not always.
Hold on, let me see
but
what,
there's
let me
a
see
lot.
what yard line they
There's
were
a
on.
lot
Hold
of
on.
situations. Yeah, they were like inside the 5 because CeeDee Lamb dropped that ball in the end zone.
CeeDee Lamb was killing himself for that, too.
I know. At first he was mad at Dak, and then it's like coming to the realization, I got to catch that football.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking the CeeDee Lamb Eagles moment to.
It was 4th and goal at the 6.
What are you doing there, Greg? Take the points.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the Giants game. Hold on. We're talking. So Giants had 4th and goal at the 6. That's a different animal. Hold on. Let me do Cowboys. I want to know what yard line they were on.
Yeah.
I know it was goal to go. I just don't know what yard line it was on. They were on the 4th and goal at the 1.
Oh, yeah, you got to go.
Was it the 1?
Not even a question.
You have to go.
Was it the 1? Let me fact check that.
I'm going off of what Greg just said.
Yeah, it was 4th and goal.
Okay.
So they were 1st and goal. Here's what the sequence was. 1st and goal at the 8, positive 6-yard gain. 2nd and goal at the 2, 1-yard run. 3rd and goal at the 1, incomplete. 4th and goal at the 1, incomplete.
Yeah.
You have to go for
I
it.
get that.
If you were a 4th one,
That's where I'm checking the ESPN app and seeing that it's they're in goal line. I'm like, I'm like grinning, texting Clump, get the clip ready. We're getting the kids in the car, and then I open it up and I see that they turn the ball over. I'm like, what the just happened?
Right. Now what?
Right,
what,
but think
yard
about
line?
this
What
now.
yard line are you kicking the 3?
goal to go so remember now, the new field goal, the new extra point is the new kickoff rule is a huge factor here. So I'm at the 1 yard line. Let's say I'm at the 5 yard line. Anything inside the 5 yard line, just for this conversation. And I fail, right? That's worst case scenario is I don't score 7 points. Right? But if I kick the field goal, I got 3 points.
Right.
For those 3 points, I took a 3-point lead, but instead of you now possessing the ball -5 to -1, having to go the long way to either tie me or beat me, I kick off to you, and let's say you get the ball between the 30 and the 35 yard line. I've given you 30 yards, maybe 33 yards, depending on the down, 30 to 35 yards of field position for 3 points, and you only now need to get 2 first downs, and you just get your 3 points right back.
Yep. I see that.
When you have the ball on the -1, even though you possess the ball, I on defense actually have higher probability of scoring the next point than you do, even if I don't have the ball. That's how advantageous it is to not take 3 points and then go do a kickoff. If this was 20 years ago and I'd kick a touchback and give you the ball at the 20, it's a different math equation. It's a whole different animal. But with the ball now being at the 35 and kickers being 60 plus pretty regularly, you're 2 first downs from just kicking it and tying me, and we're all back to square anyway.
Right. And now you're going to.
So what did they do? They fail. The Eagles pick up a couple first downs. They eventually fail. Give the ball back now to the Cowboys. And what do? They win in regulation. The goal is to win in regulation. It's not to play for a tie. It's not to play for overtime. And it worked out exactly right.
Now, as a take the points guy, are you agreeing with? Because Greg just laid that out beautifully
on the 1 yard line.
What about 4th and 5?
4th and 5, I'm taking the points. 4th and 5
after everything he just said.
After everything he just said in that game situation, because again, the way Dallas came out after they scored the 21, like Dallas's defense was playing on fire. Like it's 3 and out, or they might get 5 plays. They're punting the ball. It's like punt, miss field goal, fumble. Like the way Dallas was playing defensively, the way that they had the momentum and control that game. You go up 3, it's 24-21. Again, we're talking about 4th and 5. I'm taking the points. That's where I'm taking the points because you're now up. You're not winning the game.
But did you
Are you worried about
Will, ask yourself this. You take the field and the offense is in the huddle. They're in their own end zone because the ball is about to be snapped from the 5 versus you take the field after either a kickoff return or a touchback, whatever you want it to be. Yeah. God forbid you don't hit the landing zone and the ball is at the 40. But let's just say everything goes according to plan and the ball is somewhere between the 30 and the 35. So we're talking 25 to 30 yard of starting field position difference. You take the field for a must stop. You cannot give up any points. Where are you more comfortable? The offense starting at the 5 or the 35?
The 5.
And listen, like when an offense, Greg, you can attest this. When the offense is backed up, like the 10 yard line and back, the -10 and back, the goal of the offense is not to score points there. The goal of the offense is give the punter enough room to punt. If you're backed up, get a first down. That is the goal, because then now you're thinking field position. You're not thinking as an offense, we need to go in.
Daniels got a first down right out of the gate after that turnover.
They got a first down right out of the gate, but they got another first down and then they failed.
All right, so stick with me here. Okay, this is the second layer besides field position. When you take a 3-point lead there was how much time left? They got the ball back with like 3:30. Philly possessed the ball after the failed 4th down with like 3:30 on the clock in the 4th quarter. They pick up a first down. Right above the 2-minute warning, especially based on timeouts, you're in 4-down territory. So by being tied, you are never now as an offense in 4-down territory until you cross midfield. But all of a sudden, I take a 3-point lead by kicking a chip shot field goal. I kick you the ball, you get it now at the 30 or the 35, depending on the outcome of the kickoff. The entire time you possess the ball, Will, the entire time I possess the ball, you've got to defend 4 downs because I'm losing. I can't punt it back to you. The game's over. So I'm in 4-down mode until I get in field goal range. Because you kicked the field goal, your odds of going to overtime it's it changes because I got to defend a field goal try, 4-down territory from the 35-yard line. That's pretty easy. You get the ball at the -5. What's Philly saying? Hey, either we win the game, but we can't give the ball back to Dallas because we don't want to lose in overtime in regulation either. So you're not in 4-down mode. Your calls are a little bit more conservative. You're saying, hey, let's take it easy. Let's get a couple first downs, get to the 2-minute warning. And then when we get around midfield, we'll go aggressive and we'll try to win this thing in regulation, but let's make it a walk-off. They punt on 4th down. They take back-to-back penalties. So they punt on 4th down because it's not 4-down mode. You're not in must-go mode because I'm now as an offense, I'm playing for overtime. And my ability to take chances is significantly less than it was if I was trailing by 3. So it's 30 yards of field position and you don't have to defend 4th down.
This conversation
It's
is
not even a
fascinating to me.
conversation.
Well, it was because we just had a conversation.
Huh?
He said it's not even a conversation. I'm just saying we just had a conversation.
I think a conversation
Greg
because
just talked.
people-
Greg just broke that down for me in such football terms that now I'm like, okay, I can. You got to go for it on 4th and 5 on the goal line.
And that is big by you. That's big by you because you're a big stand the batter's box guy. And if I'm in this batter box, I'm staying in this batter box. Chiefs. That for Greg to break that down in a way for you to go, I understand. That's huge. It's growth.
Yeah, it's. I'll very much dig my heels in the ground, especially when people just throw the term analytics, and that's what the analytics say.
Right.
But the way Greg just broke that down for me in football terms, the way the feeling, the momentum shifts, the way the game's getting called, the way you're thinking this, and in every situation, I just started to wrap my brain. I want to get out a notebook and a pen. I want to call Greg after this phone call and get in a real meeting and take notes and get better today.
That's
great.
What
I
we
want
could
to
talk ball. We could talk ball all day. We had 2 teams yesterday. Up 3 at the end of the game, Giants being one. I can't remember the other one. Up 3, go for it on 4th down because you don't want to be up 6. And it blows people's minds.
Say that again. Say that situation again.
So you have the ball. Say it's the same situation. Let's just take the Philly-Dallas game because we were talking about it. Philly-Dallas game, but instead of that game being tied, say it's 4th and goal at the 1, and Dallas is winning by 3 at the time of the 4th down. So they could kick a field goal to go up 6 or try to score a touchdown to go up 10.
Okay. Following.
What are you doing?
You go for the touchdown.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
there I
course.
feel much more comfortable going for the touchdown because, again, they need a field goal just to tie you.
Because all the things you just said, Greg, if you go and you take the 3 and now you have 6, now you're still in a goal-to-go situation, and they know they have to get. If they score, it's over. They win the game. You're not
Correct.
You're not putting the game away. So you have to
You're
take.
better
you have to
off
go for
being
7.
up 3 than you are 6.
Right? Because now their mind goes to tie, not to win.
Correct.
Yeah,
This has been my favorite conversation I've had with you. Breaking that down, because I didn't know that with the kickoff rules how much that's changed everything.
I think the kickoff rule has been so good. Yes, there's more returns. A bunch have been returned. What is there, 4 that have been returned for touchdowns? 3?
Something like that.
Yeah,
There's been a couple. The end of the game last week, Minnesota, who was it? Minnesota, Chicago. Yeah, Minnesota, Chicago. Minnesota is winning. They kick off. Chicago returns the ball back to the plus side of the field and ends up kicking the field goal to win in the last 30 seconds of the game. The game, it has brought more impactful plays. I think the biggest role that it's had is it is changing how people treat the end of offensive possessions because kicking off is now no longer a formality. It's no longer kick it through the uprights and you get the ball, it was the 20, then the 25, then the 30, and now it's the 35. And if I don't kick it in the landing zone, it's the 40. And it just keeps getting closer and closer to midfield where the advantage of kicking off is after a field goal is not what it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
But now you're seeing all these long field goals. Obviously, that's a huge weapon. Short chip shot field goals to then get your opponent for 3 points, to let your opponent get out of the shadow of their goalpost to possess the ball at the -35 as opposed to inside their own 10. I would just argue over the course of the season, it's just not worth to give up that field position for field goals, which we all know field goals are going to get you beat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to take a few more of these episodes, but then there'll be a situation that comes up to where now you guys, it all comes back to that run pass game dilemma you and Greg are in right now.
Right. I think Greg and I are saying similar things about the run game. We're just looking at it with a different lens.
Yeah. You love running the football.
I think running the football is effective.
About,
I think it all depends. It's strategic on the team you're playing and what puts us in the best position to win the game. For the Chiefs, the best position to win is keeping their offense off the field, which is a very unique and uncomfortable situation for the Chiefs to be in because they're always the team that you want to keep their offense off of the field. Obviously, I love to be in the Lions situation where you run the ball 17 times for 200 yards a game. But if you have a team that can effectively run the football, which is more than 3.6, even 4 yards per carry, if you have a team that can run the football effectively in a winning way and also throw the ball, that is a complete offense as opposed to we can beat you with our X plays. Because I think there's more ways to defend the X plays than a team that you also have to worry about an explosive run game like the Lions.
If you can't pop the big one, going down the field, play after play after play after play of a run style offense, it is very easy to run the ball between the 30s. As you, and Taylor, you obviously know this better than anyone. As you cross your opponent's 30-yard line and you get into like high red and then obviously into red, low red, all that, it becomes increasingly more difficult to run the ball because the field shrinks, right? So there's not as much depth. There's not as much grass to cover. There's not as much ability to throw the ball over my head to back me up to run the ball. But in between the 30s, I'm like, I'm not going to give up a 70-yard touchdown. So it's a little bit easier to run the ball. There's more space. There's more gaps in the defense and whatnot. As you get closer to the end zone, if you can't throw the ball, my space is now progressively getting smaller and smaller as I approach the goal line. So I'm entering an area of the field where what I'm doing to get here becomes progressively more difficult, which is why throwing the ball ends up scoring more points unless I can score from the 40.
Yeah.
Right? If I can score from the 40 or the 50-yard line, it doesn't matter what yard line I snap it from. That's obviously a great play. But to go the length, so I did the Green Bay game yesterday, right? Opening drive of the game, the first Green Bay possession, they go down, second down pass, really over, boom, touchdown. The rest of the game, they ran the ball great. Emmanuel Wilson was a dog. He was running through the Vikings. They couldn't stop him. They scored a touchdown drive on their first possession of the game. They had 3 offensive possessions in the first half. And in the second half, they ran it down their throat, field goal, down their throat, field goal. The only other touchdown that Green Bay scored in a game that they dominated, the only other touchdown they scored other than their opening possession touchdown drive was the guy on the Vikings went to block a punt that bounced at the 5. He went to block the gunner. The ball bounced and hit him in the foot, and Green Bay recovered the ball like inside of Minnesota's 5-yard line and just handed it off for a touchdown.
Right.
So they dominated the game. They ran it up and down the field. You can't score touchdowns.
Yeah, because it condenses the field once you get over the 30. Another thing to your point, too, is when you're watching the Chiefs and the Colts play, when the Chiefs are running the ball as much as they're running the ball, at no point as the viewer, as the Colts, as a fan, are you thinking, man, the Chiefs are real close to breaking one right now on the ground. You never think that. To me, it was a 60-minute chess play. Yeah, it was a 60-minute game of chess. I mean, obviously you have to throw the ball to get more points. I agree with that.
The longest run, they had an 18-yard run. They had so Kareem Hunt had 30 carries. He had an 18-yard run. His average was 3.5 yards a carry.
Chess.
Greg's like, it's not a winning formula.
If you asked...
That's not a winning formula, but it is for that game.
If you asked Lou, oh God, I always mispronounce his last name, the D coordinator who was in Cincinnati, who's now...
What's it? Mitch?
Anarumo.
Lou Anarumo.
Lou Anarumo.
Anarumo, that's okay. I want to disrespect. He's a great coach. I don't want to disrespect by mispronouncing his name. If you asked him, do you want Kareem Hunt to run the ball 30 times for 3 yards a carry, or Patrick Mahomes have the ball in his hands, regardless of how good the passing game is? And which would you pick?
I would pick run the ball.
The 30 carries.
Of course you would. And that's why offenses are doing what defenses want them to do, which I think is a dangerous game.
Fascinating, boys. Do we have any other? We have any other combos with with Greg.
What's your guys' off-season training look like right now with the kids?
I'm glad you asked. We got like 20. We got a good group. I'd say give any day 20 kids, 7th and 8th graders. Group's gonna shrink, and some kids are playing winter sports. Some kids, so there's a little kind of fluctuation of who, but give or take 15 to 20 kids Monday through Thursday, 6:30 before school, weight room, shred mill, track, all sorts of 4 days a week training, 6:30 to 7:15. Our kids are grinding.
We got them in a hypertrophy mode. You're really breaking them down so that way you can build some muscle mass.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't go to the workouts. We have a really good strength and conditioning coach at school who he handles it. So I just drop the kids off and let them go do their thing. But dude, 45 minutes a day for 13, 14-year-old kids, 4 days a week. It's amazing how much they can get done. It's amazing how much they can learn. And it's not even about like how much weight's on the bar, how much weight. It's just learning how to be in the weight room, learning how to load the rack, learning how to be on time, learning how to go through a warm-up, learning how to there's so many lessons that are built in a weight room that have nothing to do with how much I can bench press or back squat, that for these 7th and 8th graders to get an early kind of look at what that looks like. This is the first year we've ever done it. We don't typically start our football workouts until the spring. So for our kids to start this and go all winter, then we'll take the holidays off and then come back for the start of the second semester and go through, late winter, early spring. I think it's going to pay off as we get rolling for next year.
Yeah, you're going to jump on the opponent. How's
set
your
the tone, man?
Yeah, set the
We're
tone.
building from the ground up.
What's your boy pushing these days? What is he got on the rack right now? What we talking here? We got 135 on the bar yet?
You know what? I'm not sure. I think, which I agree with, I'm not sure if they've ever done straight bar bench. I think all of their
very smart
prone pressing type exercises, I believe they're all using dumbbell kettlebell.
Smart.
I could be wrong on that. When they get home from school, they're not in school today, but when they get home, when they go back again, I'm going to ask them. But I don't think they do straight bar bench, but I have to ask them. I believe it's all dumbbell.
Yeah. You boys doing some eccentric work in that weight room right now. We're in the
French
wintertime. We're in
eccentric
phase
Just
one. Let's
slow,
get some eccentric.
3 paws
Break the
down,
body down.
and everything in your body's just shaking.
Yeah, I love it.
Is there anything worse? And I think this is why I haven't gotten back into training. Like every week, driving home on the plane after I eat like Mike and Ike's and I drink soda in the booth and I've eaten a great steak dinner and I feel fat. I'm like, Monday, I'm getting back to training. I got a gym in my basement. Like I'm going to start getting back in shape. I think I have like PTSD. Remember like in end of February, early March, when you started getting back into like your own workouts before, you knew you had a couple weeks before OTAs and you're just going to get back going. Those first couple weeks felt like you've never worked out in your life.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
You
And
feel
it's
like you're
also-
going to throw up. It's cold. Your chest is burning. You're like, I'm never going to get back. I think I have that like burned into my brain. I fear the first workout. Now, picture, I haven't done a shit in 5 years. That first workout, the fear of what I'm going to feel like has prevented me from getting back in the weight room. But like that shit is real now.
Dog, the first winter workout after you come back from Christmas break, let's say you don't make a bowl game and you're back from Christmas break, you've taken the week off, you've eaten like shit, and you have a 6 a.m. and you walk out and the indoor has cones and mats and towels and tires everywhere.
And
you
sleds
don't-
to push.
You don't know exactly what's about to happen, but you know you're about to get your shit pushed in. There's not a bigger anxiety in the world than that moment right there. And God forbid you're the second group. Like you're watching the boys come in and there's always that
there's
fat
nothing
D
worse.
tackle who's on the ground laying, like there's a couple trainers around him, like we got to cool him down. And
There's a-
you're just
yeah.
like, oh my God.
There's a puker on the turf
Yeah.
and somebody that's kind of like a leader walks by you and you're like, hey, good luck with that one. And you're just thinking, holy
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how was it? Hey, how was it?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
when you walk into that like social studies test,
Yeah.
but you have it 8th period.
Yeah.
And everyone before he's like, it's the worst test I've ever taken. You don't know anxiety until you go to a 6 a.m. college football workout and the unknown of not only what the workout's going to be, how hard is it going to be, how much am I going to get yelled at, but like, am I going to die?
That's-
Like, is this the end of my life in this moment? I'm scarred. Like that anxiety I still carry with me today. Hence why I don't like walk into my basement and go do a workout. I want to do workouts. I don't want to do the first workout.
Yeah, that's dude. And you're like, God forbid you do lower body after a couple weeks off, and you go to sit on the toilet 2 days later. It's like I might never move again, dude.
Yeah.
My first couple of years at Michigan, I wasn't in a position where you could choose when you work out. Like if it was up to me, I like to go as early as possible, be the first one in, so I can get it done. But when I was like a freshman, sophomore, I would sit there and be like, hey, you're the 8 o'clock group. There'd be like a 6, 7, 8 o'clock group. I would get there 2 hours before and watch the workout to mentally prepare what was about to happen to my body.
Yeah.
Because the thought of sleeping and being there 30 minutes before and not knowing was worse than just watching people die in front of me and be like, okay, I can handle this. I can handle that. That's going to be the hard part. I got to get past that. That's the part I have to get past. Buddy, it's terrifying.
Like, is this an exercise that I put, 80%? Can I get by this one? Or the coach is going to look me in the eye and they're going to know I'm not giving it my all? If I give it my all, is this the day where I look and I'm like, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah. Because when you get older too. Go ahead, Greg.
The thing you guys had was it was cold.
Yeah.
I think that makes it even worse.
It's more just the psychology, of it getting dark sooner, it being cold, and you're just so cozy in your bed when you wake up in the morning. You're like, fuck, we got to go do this.
5 a.m. We were complaining. Our 5 a.m. winter mat drills or whatever. I don't know if they even do that anymore now. But at Miami, we would do it outside in February, January, whatever it was. And if it was in the 50s, 60s, you're like, oh my God, it's freezing. The ground's wet. And it was 50, 60 degrees. By noon, it was 75.
Yeah.
And we thought that was cold. Doing that. Now, I'm sure you guys had indoors. We didn't have indoor at Miami. So we did everything outside. In the summer, though, is where you really tested your mettle because it was 100. It didn't matter if you were the 7-8. Everyone would fight to do the morning because it was too hot to do it at 9. We would get, if we knew we had sandpit workout, we had this big ass sand pit in the back of the athletic center. If you had the sand pit workout anytime past 8 a.m., so the sun had been up, if you didn't get out there early with all the boys and kick off the top layer of the sand before you took your socks and shoes off to go do the workout, not only were you going to puke, you were going to burn the bottom of your feet off.
That's how it
that was the
in
shit
Arizona.
we'd wake up on and be like, all right, today's sand day. I got to get there 20 minutes early so I can clear the top layer of sand.
Yeah. Just the thought too in the winter of how bad do you want this when you're walking out of your house at 5:30 in the morning and snow is all over the car because you don't have your car in a garage because you're in a little townhouse or a dorm room, whatever
you're not
it is.
Smart enough to put your windshield wipers up. Or
And you don't have a self-starter, so you can't walk out there. You got to turn the car on while you're getting snow in your shoes. You're scraping off the window. You're driving to the facility, and it hasn't even heated up in your car yet. You get out in Lincoln, Nebraska, and there's a side East Stadium, whatever side of the stadium, where wind is just smoking you in the face as you're walking in the facility of how bad do I want this life? Those are the moments that do test you as a man.
Yeah.
Then you walk into that 6 a.m. and you got the sleds everywhere, everything you were explaining earlier, the tires, the boys puking before the workout start or when the first group's over with. That is, man.
That world you're living in.
Though.
For me, when I was in college, it was always playing the game. I would be I would live close enough to the facilities where I would just walk, and I would think about how cold I am. But then I'm in my brain, I'd be like, think of how much you're going to wish you were cold in an hour or an hour and a half or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that game. So I'd be like, okay, this is not that bad because I'm there. And then once I would start the workout, I think to myself, bro, 45 minutes from now, it's over. There's nothing to worry about anymore. That type of mental warfare game that you're playing with yourself is the best. It's the thing you look back on. You're like, I fucking hate it. It changes. Your body is hurting because of what happened to you when you were younger that we're talking about right now. But it is what makes you a man. It is your bar mitzvah.
Yeah, is my L4 and L5 deteriorating right now because of what we went through when we were in our college days? Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
But it's also part of our detriment right now as old men because we have that PTSD because there's nothing in our brain that is allowing us. This is what I'm trying to be graceful for with. It's hey, Will, it's okay to just go in and exercise and get a sweat in with some zone 2 or a light workout. In our brains, you have to get in there and get after it to the most extreme. Right out of the gate. That's why you won't walk into that basement because there's nothing in your brain that's saying, hey, it's okay to just go in and sweat just a little bit. No, you want to push yourself to the limits
you want to
or do that eccentric work. You got to feel something with the,
and I'm going to die.
Yeah. With the delayed onset, with the Dom soreness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're almost scared because we feel those are the workouts we have to do to get back in it. But in the reality, boys, that's not what it is.
No, it is.
We just gotta be okay with just going in and just getting some sweat in.
You're wrong.
That's how I'm trying to talk to myself right now because I'm a fat piece of shit and I've been handling myself very poorly. Like I just tell my
Same.
wife, like I've got to get
Same.
out. This is when I'm going to start getting after it. And then the next
Hey,
day,
New Year's resolution with the boys.
that's
Every year. It's every year.
And the New Year's resolution, that's where I'm like, that's where I just feel like a mortal because I don't want to be a New Year's resolution guy. Like I want to get started. But I told myself last night I was going to get started today. I didn't. My
Same.
youngest got
Same.
sick. She threw up in the middle of the night and then the 6 a.m. alarm hit and I turned it off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've got to try to get some sleep in.
Literally, your morning was my exact morning. I was like, buddy, because Greg, I don't know if you noticed, I've had gout, and it's been so awful
heard.
that I was legit horizontal for 72 hours to the point where I'm like learning how to walk again as a human, like as an adult. And I set my alarm last night. I was like, I'm going to wake up at 6. I'm going to hit the sauna, do the red light, zone 2 cardio, and I'm going to get a workout in. I'm going to get back into a rhythm. 6 a.m. hit, turn that bitch to 8. And I was like, I'll see you at 8 a.m. And I literally, and didn't even flinch at it. To where the old me is like, you're a pussy, dude. Get up right now. Yeah. And I would count down from 3. And when I hit 1, I would stand up and go do it. So
we're a shell of ourselves, boys.
I'm absolutely like you guys talk about being
We're in
a
a
fat
different
piece of
place,
shit.
boys. But we're all in it together.
Yeah, we're all in
Dude,
it together.
You guys talking about being a fat piece of shit. I'm a skinny little bitch right now. I've lost 20 pounds. I took my shirt off and looked in the mirror last night, and I look like Dan Orlovsky. I'm looking like Skeletor, dude. I look at my body.
Dan's taking strays for no reason.
Well,
no
you know,
reason.
Dan's he's deserved it. I'll say that. You've seen a couple.
I'd rather be Skeletor than having to grab my muffin top and wiggle it around and just be like, God, you are disgusting, Will. Yes, I'll
And
take
then you
this
got my
pie.
dog Luke, who's just absolutely yoked and strong. He lifts every day. He's deadlifting. He is a monster.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
only eats clean. We'll go out I'll be like, hey, I'm going to take a pizza and a burger. And he's like, I'll take a Greek salad. I'm like, I hate you, but I love you.
Yeah. God, that discipline.
You hate him because you
I need
want to
it.
be like him.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish I had your discipline because when we go to the beach this offseason and we both go shirtless, like my wife's going to be looking at you.
And that's the shitty truth, but it's all good.
And I'm looking at you too. So it's all good. I get it.
100%. Is there, I feel like dudes, like jack dudes, girls don't admire that more than like guys will be like, well, you see this fucking guy over here? This guy looks pretty good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
your wife's just like, all right. And you're just like, no.
Every time I
seriously,
see
look
Luke,
at
I'm
him.
like, dude, you look great.
Yeah.
You got to like pump each other up.
Got to.
We'll have to get an accountability buddy group chat going on.
We have to,
Just
I feel like we have to. Like, hey, what'd you do this morning? When I get off this call right now, my wife and kids are out of town. I'm going to sit in the sauna. And that starts the revolution. We're going to start small.
it
Send us a
starts
text,
now.
dude. Send us
It
a picture of
starts
the
today.
sauna.
All right, I'll text you guys. We'll start accountability.
All
Have
right,
to have it.
accountability. Love
Greg.
you, Greg.
All right, boys.
Appreciate you, Greg. Round of applause for Greg.
See you,
Thanks,
fellas.
buddy.
Thank you, Greg.
Hey, how about that fucking lesson on the new kickoff rules and all
Loved
that?
it. Loved it.
Loved
Loved all of it. Love, like, because I get in my ways of believing in defense. If defense is playing well, stop the run, play good defense, take the points, and I'm learning some good ball. Learning some good ball that I'll get to
agree.
utilize it when I'm a head coach one day.
Before we get into college, we have to do tier talk too, but we'll do a couple tier talks. Jack, I want your opinion on the Titans game, please. I want to hear about it right now.
Titans are such a waste of time, dude. Sorry.
Damn.
That's fucking.
I'm just
insane.
thinking like
That was the most
what-
competitive game the Titans have played. That's the best they've looked all
And
year.
Cam Ward looked great.
Yeah.
There was great signs. They need to keep Restrepo in there. I don't know
Yeah.
why he hasn't been playing at all when him and Cam both know the same schemes. They play so well together. They're just a good fit. He didn't do much. He almost had 2 opportunities to score. One drop ball in the end zone facing away from where I was, and then one that was right on the goal line. But yeah, I mean, you don't really go in with too much expectation like we stated the last few weeks. I go in there just trying to get out alive.
Yeah.
Seahawks fans travel well. Some people around me, assholes, and you just have to take it on the chin. But I felt encouraged, at least from Cam Ward's perspective. He looked great. He had a lot of promising plays. The scramble play where he was evading every single person and then throws it crossbody to Restrepo. It was fun. I mean, back-to-back weeks playing against 2 of some of the best defenses in the league is something that Titans fans should feel good about moving forward. Again, it's kind of a lose-lose situation right now, being now 1-10, but I for the most part, I enjoyed the game, even though I had no expectation to win. playing against good defenses with the current state of the Titans, I think it's something that we should all look forward to next year. Again, let's just move forward. We have another home game next week, so we'll see. It's not much.
Can I tell you a vision that I had while you were speaking?
Please.
It's 2029. The new stadium is open. We're currently in that last week of November, as we are right now, just in the future. The Titans are the number 1 seed in the AFC at this point. They're essentially like the Patriots we see right now. You're in the game. You've got your tickets. You're sitting there. And all around you is just Titans fans. Everywhere. Wearing tight pants and the boots, and they got the flannel jacket on, but they're wearing a jersey, but it's very new and fresh. And you get to sit there with your old tattered jersey and your Titans outfit you wear for the most part, and you get to lean back in your chair and go, these might be fans now, but I've been here since day one. And that is what you're fighting for right now.
Yeah.
And it juices me the fuck up to think about you and these other, East Nashville. I'm thinking about a bunch of East Nashville cats, right? That's all I'm thinking about. We got nose rings. We got different colored hair. We got the boots. We got the flannel shirts on. They're dressing up for an event. You're dressing up for a game. And you get to sit back with them and be like, hey, we fucking did it. Here we are.
We built this.
I
built
hope
this.
so.
I built this.
And all the colored hair, nose rings, boots, tight pants, they're welcome.
Yeah.
We need fans in there. And we
Right.
need people that believe in the organization. So hopefully it does. I unfortunately, I went to the game solo. Brother was out of town. Dad couldn't make it. My friend that I invited bailed on me last second. So this
was the how bad do I want this situation?
Yeah, exactly.
I walked into the game with headphones on. I didn't take them out until I sat in my seat. I was listening to the radio broadcast a little bit. I met up with Buck at halftime. He's like, there's no way you're listening to the radio broadcast. I was like, I'm just trying to just kill the time at this point. But yeah.
It's that moment right there when you do conquer. It's you weren't with me shooting in the gym.
Yeah.
When we were in hell.
Right.
But
People want to see the tip of the iceberg. They want to see all it takes to become the iceberg.
Very true. I'm definitely not going to be that fan, though. God willing, we are a winning organization in our new stadium in years to come. I won't be the fan that's like, you motherfuckers weren't here. Like, don't come if you weren't here when we were losing. We need everybody. We need everyone.
I don't see you being that fan in that situation. I see people being like, I'm the biggest Titans fan, and that's when that type of jack rears its ugly head.
Yeah.
You think you're a real fan? I was there in 2025.
I haven't been drinking at these games, and I feel like I just see everything so clearly. Like my aggression.
A sober jack at a Titans game is crazy.
That is how bad it's been. Jack is sober.
You just got to feel everything
during this one-win season.
But I do think the best thing to take away from it is Cam Ward looked great, and DK is going to be an all-star for us as long as we can keep him healthy. He has been great. It's funny because in the last, I think, 3 games, we've had 4 total touchdowns. 2 of them have come from Shamir DK.
50%.
2 of them have come from our offense. So it's fun. Cam Ward got himself a TD. He was fighting hard, man. So I don't know. We're just going to keep pushing forward. We got Thanksgiving coming up this week. We're just grateful that the weather was beautiful yesterday. And
we had our time to be nasty earlier in the show. Not anymore.
No.
Grateful.
Yes.
All the way through.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple tier talks, and then let's get these beautiful fans who are listening to the show out of here. This is Rambo at 4th. Oh, wow. At _ Will Compton, what team would you retire with? The Washington Titans or the Raiders? And who do you root for the most?
If I could retire with one of those teams, it'd for sure be Washington.
Okay.
That is where I kind of cut my teeth in the league. That is where football mattered the most in my life. That is the time where I would have literally died for all of my teammates. Who do I root for?
Whoever wins.
I just root for good football. I love watching good football out there. Like I want to see those teams do well. Washington, the Raiders, and Titans. They're not very good whatsoever this year. I do want to see those teams be successful. When it comes to the NFL, it's a lot different than college. Obviously, I'm a diehard Nebraska fan. Will be forever. Like in the NFL, I felt like more of a outside of Washington, just more of a mercenary around the league. I just root for some good football.
Yeah.
I root for some good football. I love watching the game of ball.
Right.
We need everybody. Here's a hashtag tier talk from our boy Caleb Ingram.
Ooh, Caleb.
If you're the Titans GM, what coach are you going after, and who's your first free agent target? believe this is a question for Jack, question for Taylor.
Yeah, I think the coach you go after is Arthur Smith. That's our guy. And then when it comes for free agent, we got a lot to look into. You can't pour more money into the offensive line. They've got to figure it out. Wide receiver, corner. Jack?
Yeah, I would agree. Probably I would start at that secondary position, but a wide receiver would be great. We paid Calvin Ridley a lot of money. Hasn't done too much. He's injured. But DK, like I'm saying, he is going to be a great guy. Alec O'Manor could be someone as well. For coaching, you've kind of talked me into the Arthur Smith realm, and I don't hate it at all. Knows the organization. I think it'd be great. I still wouldn't hate a Joe Brady pull, but again, I think I'd like some guy with more head coach experience. So I don't know. Right now, Mike McCoy, don't hate him. Don't want him as the coach, but for now as an interim, he's doing the best he can with a bad situation.
Yeah, let's not get back into the interim head coach world. Hey, Mike, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you.
You know what's going to happen.
I know.
But just,
I know. But as of right now, we can just go on from there. Has Joe Brady lost himself a little bit of juice with the way the offense is playing?
I mean.
Question.
No, yeah, I mean, who knows, man? The Bills have been so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And they have, they're battling on defense. Like their defense isn't at all helpful for Josh Allen and that offense because they can run the football. Josh Allen, he can be a superhero. I don't feel like they have much on the outside to work with. One thing before we do move on to college football, which will be coming out here soon. We can't not talk about the NFC North right now with the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Bears still at the top of the division.
All three teams won this weekend.
Yeah. Bears got the Eagles this week.
Yeah.
Defense, very suspect, very opportunistic defensively. They got a lot of holes defensively. Like you're able to kind of do anything on them. It will be fun to watch Caleb Williams and Jalen Hurts duel it out. Caleb Williams, bro, is that close. Dan
Orlovsky said we can't evaluate or judge Caleb Williams until November. Well, we're in November, and I'll be honest, I like Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
I think that's a damn good football player.
I was watching the Bears offense last night, just kind of scanning through Caleb Williams. Like, bro, he is right there. If he just gets some accuracy on that ball, which I think that stuff will come, because he's one of the more statistically one of the more inaccurate passers. But man, he is right there.
What
he's excited.
8 of their
to watch
last
it.
9.
Yeah. Yeah, Caleb Williams is kind of nice.
Oh, shit.
He's kind of nice.
Kind of nice. Caleb Williams he's solid. I think I've never had in my mind an opinion of a player go so dramatically different from like August to now.
Oh, yeah. And again, like for me, I'm a victim of not like watching all of the Caleb Williams ball. It's kind of just the tone that everybody else would have with him, kind of how that's transcended. But the dude, like the way they're calling plays, the creativity on offense, the way he's kind of seeing the field going through his progression, the way he can keep plays alive. He has a live arm. He's nobody that gets deterred from his inaccurate throwing. Like the dude keeps slinging it.
Yeah,
he's that close.
And I don't know if we want to end on this, but you know who thought Caleb Williams was going to be great this year? Delaney Walker. Ooh, he called it again.
Delaney strikes again.
Delaney strikes again. He's done it twice this year. Mac Jones, Caleb Williams.
Shedeur's going to fall. Mac Jones. Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert.
Who continues to be. Justin Herbert's kind of the guy. Delaney Walker. Kind of nice. Kind of nice with his quarterback opinions. Can't pick a game to save his life, but he's kind of nice with the quarterbacks.
All right, if you guys are listening right now on audio, college football, we're about to get into, and if you're watching right now on YouTube, college football will be dropping here within a couple hours. We will see you then, or see you in a minute. Whichever one it is. Make sure you are subscribed.
Please subscribe.
Like the channels and make sure to leave comments.
And I'll also, if you're listening on audio, you can't see the hats that Will and I are wearing, but these little boys, so you can find these on bwtv.com. Go to the website if you're listening and go try to find the ones that you think we're wearing right now. That's a fun little game. It's a fun little game. Go and check it out. Big hugs, tiny kisses.